Are we on? Are we on? Guten Tag, bonsoir, good evening. Welcome to the stream, guys. Good to have you in. Let's start saying hello to everybody. Right, first name on there, Panties Down Before Money Down. I'm going to call you Money Down. I'm not going to be saying that all night. Fake Ed here, reporting for duty. So I heard some had a three. Okay, we've got that. I've got that poster all lined up for you later on. Ben, how you doing? That's a lady boy. I think you mean the thumbnail for this stream. Some people like lady boys, so I'm not biased. So I should leave them out. One every now and again doesn't hurt, does it? Then, how you doing? Nice to have you in. Matthew in the house, well in the flat, as he says. Donald Trump, good evening, sir. Do that every week. Jason, how are you? Put that up there. Hi, Peter and others. Yeah, Jason's only living up the road from me. He took me. I've got to say thank you because he took me for lunch the other day. I took him to an Indian. Well, I suppose it's Indian slash. I don't know what it is really. It's kind of in the Arab Quarter. The guys who run it are kind of Bangladeshis, but good food, wholesome and cheap. And he must have liked it because he tried to go back there today, but he couldn't find it. But good evening to you, Jason. Oh, someone's done a super chat. Who's that? Jeff Say. Thank you, Jeff. I think that's. I think you've broken the record there. Only about 10 seconds into the stream, and you've super chatted me. Thank you. Okay. Rob's here as well. Italian Rob, the taxi driver, the black cab driver. He's down in Pattaya, and he sent me a message with his phone number, and he said, if you get down here, give me a ring, we'll have a drink. But the problem is, I've got a couple of commitments this week. I was thinking of going down to Pattaya tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, come back on the Thursday, start setting the stories up and everything. It's just timing. And but he's here till the 24th, so I really hope to meet Rob. He's been a long time subscriber, as it were. Who else we got in? We've got Alfreda Jim. How you doing? No Name High Leeds. Good evening, Peter. How is it going? Having to look after my dad. Joy's off, old age. I will leave my tablet running and try to participate in the quizzes. Yeah, we've got a couple of quizzes again tonight. I've got the Spot the Thai Girl and I've got the Spot the Lady Boy as always. And the Monga Minute, I believe, is about 2 minutes tonight. Let me just try and sort this air conditioning out. Hang on 1 second, guys. I've got to turn it off and then turn it on. No, it ain't going to work. It's because I've got a green screen, then it. Ah, that's it off. I haven't quite worked it out. It's got kind of two settings of on. One's like absolutely freezing and one you're sweating. Come on, come back on then. Oh my goodness, right at the beginning of a stream. There we are. Right. I'll be freezing later on. Okay, look, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, guys. 136 in now. Good to have you in. I've decided next week on the Sunday, I'm going to try and do the stream at 10 p.m. at night UK time. I just want to see how the numbers go. I was looking at some other YouTubers out there today, and they're getting big numbers in. I'm quite happy with my figures, but I want to go back to what I used to do. I'm not going to do it every week. I'm just going to do a one-off next week, probably. So Sunday next week, I'll advertise it. So it'll be 10 p.m. UK time, like the old days, 10 till midnight, something like that, and we'll see how that goes. We'll see what people prefer. Right, Leeds, good evening, Peter. Right, I've just read that. Red Pill Denmark, hello, Peter. I'm looking forward to go LT with Grant. LT, what's that? Hello, Peter. Let's put that up there. I'm looking forward to go. Oh, LT. Okay, yeah, I got you. All right. Let me just put these up. Just you'll be wondering what the pound's doing. The pound's holding its own for the moment. It's 41.50. Okay, right. D and Isan. Hi D. Good evening, Peter and others here tonight. That's good to have you in, D. Didn't see you for a couple of weeks. Okay, then. I never went to Pattaya. Bangkok was all I ever needed. Yeah, Bangkok's a cool singer. I was out the other day with Michael. I don't know if you remember Michael. He's the American guy I sometimes do videos with. And we went to film a motorbike shop that's run by an American guy about 4 stops down the BTS. And he's a nice guy, actually, a guy called Mark. He does some really good deals on. I'm not advertising. I'm just telling you, I'm leading up to a story. But we went to see this guy, Mark, because he is American, so you can communicate with him. But he does really good deals on motorbikes, not just scooters, 250cc's, Taurus, these bikes you can take up to Chiang Mai, the big touring bikes and stuff. And so after we left there, we decided to go to get something to eat. And there's a nice area. I forget the name of the station. It's the one after Unnut. I think it's called Pratagon, something like that. Anyway, and there's a nice kind of a lot of expats there. There's a lot of told you it'd be freezing. I'm going to turn this up a bit now. There's a nice expat area there, and you wouldn't believe it. We're walking through, and they'd closed off a bit of the road, and right there, they were doing a film, not making a film. They were recording, professional equipment. And I don't know if you've heard her before, but there's a quite a famous here called I don't know if you pronounce it Jingli or Yingli. She's from East End. She's got the hair up here, and quite a sexy girl. And she's had a few Grammy hits out. And she was there, like 20 yards in front of me at the front. Dancing it with this, they had one of those booms, with a camera on the end, and she's dancing away, and she had her dancers behind her. Just, you're just amazing, just walking down the street, and there's Ying Li doing a number, I suppose her next big hit, as it were. But yeah, it was great. Okay, super nice. How you doing? Steve James, hi Peter, love the Sunday stream. I love the Sunday stream. What's the haters been saying this week? It hasn't been too bad recently lately. I've had more hassle with the fashion police about my glasses and t-shirt. It's amazing, really. You read some stories out, and most guys are tinkering with a car, or they're walking the dog, or they're jogging. But there's guys actually fix and watch, and if they don't like the color of your t-shirt, they're like, "Oh, it blinded me," or "Your glasses put me off," or "Your hair was unbelievable." You sometimes think, are they joking, or they can't be real? It can't be real, can it? I told you it'd be freezing. Right, okay. Boulder Den, glad I could make this one. Good. Dutch Frang, yeah, good to have you in, Dutch Frang. You had a bit of trouble with your, you thought I'd banned you, didn't you? I don't ban people as a rule. I don't know who we've got in the back end. I think, are you out there somewhere, Damien? Give us a shout if you manage to get back. I know Frankel's here, but he's been sleeping earlier. He's in Pattaya at the moment. Let me just get rid of this. I just want to say hi to a new member there. I don't know if he's watching. Kevin Canada, thanks for joining. He might watch it on the rerun. Let's have a look. Matthew Cartwright, good evening. Oh, I'm all ready for you, Matthew. Look, got a small one tonight. Don't feel like drinking beer. Bloated. Who else we've got? Mike Braithwaite, hi. Mickey Berkshire, evening. Trust you're all well. Shinria, yeah. Rumble, how you doing? No Strings, good afternoon. I've got some good news for you guys as well. Elsma, good evening, everyone from Sukhumvit 22. Oh, you're not far. You're on the same side of the road as me. You're just, Holiday Inn on the left. I know where you are. I wonder where you're staying. Hope you're all doing fine. Arto Lax, evening. Martin Blunston, hi, Peter and Mongers. Let me just get rid of this. I'm sure he's read his name by now if he's out there. There we go. Where are we? I've lost you. Richard Paulak, good evening. The comments are coming in quite fast now. Let's have a look. If I've missed you out, guys, don't worry about it. Just leave another one. I'll catch you second time round. Motel, how you doing? Ono P, hi. Peter Parker, hi. Bootney 66 headphones with mic attached, nice. It's great. I'm having a lot of success with these. There was a couple of jokers came in. They didn't catch me out last week, but 2 weeks ago they said, "Oh, he's talking to himself. There's something wrong with his sound." And it swung me off. But I realize now they're just kind of like idiots who come into the stream and they try and make trouble. And they said, "Oh, we can't hear you," and it's a load of rubbish. There's nothing wrong with the sound. I went for a pizza and had some chips with it today, or the Americans call it French fries, and they put a lot of salt on them here. You're drinking water all night. Is it Bootney 66 headphones? Yeah, okay. Michael, how you doing? Let's have a look. Hello from Vietnam. Well, I just mentioned you, Michael, and I was talking about Mark and his motorbike shop and Jing Lee, the singer, who you didn't know who she was, did you? But I did. Sexy little thing. Steve James, Peter, try get Brian F on. Brian Flowers. The thing with Brian, he's not a late night person. I've done several interviews with Brian. He's come on with me. I've come on with him. And I said to Brian, I said, "Look, I wouldn't mind doing a live stream with you while I'm there, Brian. But I'm doing to try and catch my keep the UK audience happy, as well as some of the guys on the East Coast, West Coast, wherever it is, Australia as well. This is the time I do it. A lot of the other YouTubers, they do it in the daytime. I think Trevor does his in the morning, and then Nick Dean does his in the afternoon. Well, I purposely do mine late for this reason, and also not to kind of step on their toes. So yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Good evening from sunny Ipswich. That's Darren Howe. Yeah. So just one more thing on this thing with Brian. Yeah, Brian's a good guy. I've done stuff with him before. He's a straight shooter. He doesn't play games, but Brian's the sort of guy. He's up real early, 6, 7 in the morning. He doesn't drink at all. He's into the healthy lifestyle, and what comes along with a healthy lifestyle is sleeping early. So to get him on here to be here till sort of 12:30, 1 o'clock, he's not really interested. Michael Christian, hi, good evening. Crypto Chris, how you doing? Tom Waddington, hi. Cape Toyn, is it? How you doing? I'll put your name up there because I couldn't quite pronounce the last bit of it. Cape Tony, okay, Cape Tony, and good evening, sir. Right, Rub Loud, hi, no strings. Steve James, how you doing? I was talking to Richard Hammond in the week, and he says, Jesus, he said, I come out of your stream. He says, you talk about things for so long that the comments get 30 minutes behind. He says, so I stopped commenting because by the time you read it, it won't mean anything, you know. Right, Steve James, Rick E. Are your exchange rates shown the official rates and the rates being given to the tourists at the currency traders in Bangkok? I can tell you what they are. You only need to ask me the question. The rates I give you are from Google. So I'll type in, you can all do it, but I just put them together so you might not have thought to do it. It comes across a screen and you think, oh yeah, that's good. So the rate, how I get my rates is I go onto Google and I just put convert £1 to Thai baht, and I do that about an hour before the stream starts. Okay, so that's what Google are giving the exchange rate, and wherever Google get they're Google, right? So they're not a Mickey Mouse website. They're going to get them from somewhere reliable. But no, it's not completely accurate to what you'll get at the change booth. Who was I with the other day? I think it was Jason. We were. At the moment, they vary. You know, everybody goes on about super rich, okay? But the place I promote, not because I'm getting anything from it, but I keep mentioning this to you, and I proved it to Jason the other day. You can on that day they were giving like 40 baht and 10 satang. That was the kind of rate for the booths, most of them, right? And I keep saying to you, if you go over to the Arab Quarter, come out of Soi 4, cross the zebra crossing, and then just that little alleyway Soi, it's got all Arabic signs, you can't miss it. You go in there, there's a restaurant on the left with all the bambaries of food there. It's open all day. You go past that, and you'll come to two little change booths. Well, if you go past, literally next door to each other. Well, if you go past the first one, you come to the second one. There's a Muslim lady in there with the headphones. Very nice lady, very nice. You know, I know her. And I said to Jason, because Jason and I had a meal just in that restaurant I was talking about, and I was telling him because he was saying about going to Super Rich, but there's always a queue. And I said, look, Jason, go to her. She'll give you a good rate. She doesn't even want your passport. So everywhere on that day was given I'm talking about the pound, right? Was given 40 baht and 10 satang, just about everywhere, right? I said to him, right, okay, we'll go and ask her. I popped my head in with Jason. I said, how much you giving? Was it Jason? I'm sure it was Jason. It was somebody else. I can't remember. I think it was Jason. Yeah, it was because he just changed his money up. So he said, how much are you going to give me? I'll change £1,000, £50 notes. And she said 40 baht and 50 satang. Well, nobody else would give you that on that day. So if you're staying around Sukhumvit, don't bother going to Terminal 21 and queuing up behind all the Chinese and the Koreans and the Japanese and wasting 45 minutes of your day. If you go over there to the Arab Quarter, she'll give you the same, if not a better exchange. And if you forgot to take your passport with you, no problem. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Matthew, Bangkok soys are great, but after a couple of weeks, you've been everywhere and you find your choices are getting limited. Really, Matthew? I'd have said the opposite. I mean, Bangkok's a fantastic city. It's huge. I mean, you can go to, I mean, I went out the other day, like I said, with Michael, and that one area, we couldn't do it in a week, you know, and it's such a big city. I'm surprised you said that. I mean, I can imagine that about Pattaya, but not Bangkok. Um, no, I can never get this just right, this air conditioning when I'm sitting. I'm either freezing or sweating. Mark Hanley, hi, how you doing? Nom Yai Inspector, your headphones aren't straight, even if, yeah, okay, don't jump on that bandwagon. World Traveller Forever, good evening to you, Peter, and all the mongers, yeah. Artro Lux, many people like to complain, others when life sucks. I don't mind now. It used to really bother me. Mark, thank you. Did I thank you for that, Mark? I don't think I did. Mark Hanley, £10. That'll go into the Chang Fund. Thank you very much, Mark. Yeah, people like to complain. It doesn't bother me now. It used to. What about that story? You know, the stories I did last Saturday, the last one, the voodoo and the clay doll and all that. Did you go for that? I couldn't get my head around that one. Um, Mr. Singh, how are you, sir? Hiya. I said Mr. Singh because I don't know how to pronounce your first name. Is it Dahama? Broadcast Dave, hi, what's happening? Well, it's all here tonight, Broadcast Dave. Crypto Chris, sound is fine. It's all these are fantastic. These are what's called call center headphones. And I showed you last week, I got them off Lazada. They were 850 baht. They're so good. I actually bought a second set. There you go. Just because you know what it's like, it'll break and then they won't sell them anymore. So they're my backup. Donald Pearson, hey Peter, late to the party from Los Angeles, California. Been to California, Donald, very nice. Okay, what's this? Bijan, is it? Booked my flight last night. I leave New York City, Bangkok, April the 10th, 2 weeks in Jomtien, 2 weeks Hua Hin. Okay, so I've just come back from Hua Hin a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I came back from Jump Team last week. Jump Team is really nice. The only, I'm not really a party person anymore. I don't really do the go-go bars and stuff. I go out when I'm in Pattaya, but I love to go to Jump Team in the afternoon and just sit in one of those deck chairs and eat food all day and have a laugh with the women who are serving you, and that is great. It's great. Especially after, I don't know, you said you were in there. Where are you? New York. I guess New York's, I've not been to New York. I guess it's pretty quiet, cold at the moment. Um, Stephen Roberts, good evening. How you doing, Steve? Wow. Is that Russian? Peter, you've got a couple of hairs out of place. Yeah, no, just piss off a lot of you. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Funny, though. It's funny. It's becoming a standard joke now. Brian, how are you, mate? Good to have you in. Good afternoon, yeah. It's 11:15 at night here in the sunny city of Bangkok. Javier, hi, Peter. Have you visited the Thermic Cafe? Yeah, a couple of times. It's full of Japanese and Koreans now. And unless you're Japanese and Korean, the girls in there are not really that interested in you. Right, okay. No strings. Just Googled Ying Li. She's a cutie. Should sort out the hair though. Oh, I love that hair. Yeah, she's a cutie. I should have got a link ready. I don't want everybody to go off and watch her now though. But she's got this kind of coif of hair, She's quite sexy. Wayne Ritchie. Hi. I can't. I've got the video on my phone, right, but I can't actually show it because of copyright. But let me try and get the video up without any sound. This is what I seen the other day. Yeah, here we go. Let me turn the sound off though. I don't know if you can see this. So that's what I came across. I can't put the sound on because of YouTube. She's the one in the green at the front. Can you see with the hair? You'll see a bit better in a minute when the boom goes down. There she is, in the green with the coif hair. So yeah, that was quite. It wasn't very good to show you on there, but it's a lot better to look. But yeah, she's quite nice. Right, okay, and it's one of those songs. All the bars you go into when you're down in Hua Hin or Pattaya and they play a Thai song, a lot of the time it's her. So you might not recognise her name or her, but if you heard the song, you'd be, oh yeah, I've, every bar you hear it in. Steve James, put comments on the screen. Well, I only put them on if they're interesting, Steve. I can't put every comment on the stream, else it would take too long. Extra, they're all interesting, but if it's extra interesting, no strings. Yeah, okay. Listen. Bootney66, I recently found that Alex will give a currency exchange rates. Okay, yeah, there's good exchange rates if you look around. I mean, what's important for me is you can get at least 40 baht to the pound. Once it goes under 40, it's terrible. Yeah, I use currency converter, says Brian. Google's okay. Mark Howitt, how you doing? Hello to you. No strings. Aircon problems. Maybe wear a cardigan. Can you imagine me sitting here in a cardigan? Val Dunican. Mickey Berkshire, it's better. Yeah, it's a better rate for £50 notes rather than 20. And yeah, the higher the denomination, you always get a better rate. I've never actually looked to see what the difference is because I always take high notes, and I know you get a better rate for a higher note, whatever country you come from. But I've never sort of looked and thought, well, how much do I get for £10, £20, £50? Should do that. Oh, I do have some news for you though, right? Because being a married man, I don't partake in things of the flesh outside the marriage, as you know, soon to be ended. But purely for research, I was walking with James again. We were going to the restaurant, and there was a lot of freelancers in the afternoon out on Sukhumvit about 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And James said to me, I wonder how much that lot are charging. I said, do you know what? Guys are going to ask that on the channel. Let's go and ask them. So I picked about two. Where McDonald's is on Sukhumvit. What questions? They're everywhere. But this particular one, when you come out of Soi 4, across the zebra crossing, crossover, walk past, just a little bit down there, around Soi, what is it? Probably Soi 5, around there, right? Okay. And I asked a couple of freelancers, and I said, how much? And they said 1,000 baht, 1,000 baht. So there you go, if you're into that sort of thing. Lester Paul, 2 weeks today, I'll be getting to hotel in Bangkok. Do you know what? I'm gutted. I've got to go home really soon. I call it home. This is home now. I'm not going to tell you the exact date because you always get a few nutters about. I've met some really nice people out here, and if any of them are watching who I've met, hi. Nice to met an Australian guy the other day, Indian he was, but he's Australian. I don't know how I describe him, but anyway, he stopped me in the street. Very nice guy. And but I've got to go back soon, and it's going to be really hard psychologically, because this time I've been out here for 5 months. I came out on the 6th of October. I'm going back in a week or so. Let's just put it that way. And I'm now fitted into the life here. You know, I mean, I've got a life here. I've got friends. I've made new friends. I've found my little restaurants where I eat. I know where I buy bread from and where I can buy bits and pieces. I'm going to buy a little Honda. I might rent one off Mark, actually, a Honda Click. Good deal. I probably will, actually. And, you know, I've got my apartment. I went out and bought a 55-inch TV. I've just bought my brother laser printer right there, and I've got all my fast broadband. It's all sorted out now. I'm at home, as it were. I've got to go back. It's going to be ugly, you know, because I spoke to my. No, I won't go too personal at the moment till it's all over. But I've got to go back, and I'm hoping I'm only going to be back for 2 weeks. We're nearly there now. I got a letter from the solicitors, but it's a thought. I woke up this morning. I was actually depressed thinking about it. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it was. I'm not. I don't get depressed as such. I'm not a person who spends days and days in a state of depression. But the thought of me having to get on an aeroplane, get out of Heathrow, I'm paying £160 in the taxi to get back, 6,000 baht, you know, and I'm going to go into an unfriendly place where people don't really want me there. And I've got to spend a week, you know, phoning utility companies, going to the bank. I've got to put a skip on the drive to chuck out everything she doesn't want. It's dreadful, dreadful situation. And then, you know, I'm going to, as soon as when the van comes with her stuff and they move to, she's got a new house, she'll move with my daughter. And then basically I'll have got a suitcase. I'm on the street basically. So what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to try and book a flight the following day. And if I can get one, I don't care what I pay because I'm going to get a one-way ticket. And if I can get, even if I have to pay like economy upgrade, business class, I really don't care. If I got to pay 4K, I'll pay it. I'm not going to hang around in a Premier Inn in England because I know I'll feel suicidal. You know, I will. Not really, but you know what I mean. And so what I've decided to do, that, you know, in England we exchange keys at midday. So what happens is midday you've got to be out of there, and you can go, if we were buying another house in England, 12 o'clock I would go to the estate agents, give them our keys, pick up our new keys, and the people who have bought ours can move in the afternoon. We can move in theirs, but obviously I'm not. I'm on the street, right? So I'm going to be that morning when I know we're 100% moving. The van is here. They're loading the van up. I'm going to be trying to book a flight for the next day, and if I get one, I'm going to get a taxi down to Heathrow. I'm going to stay in an airport hotel, but I know it's going to be so depressing the first night. You know, I'll be there on my own in a hotel at 63 nearly, and God, well, there's a good start to the stream, isn't it? Anyway, right, let's go down to some of the newer comments. Andrew, right, I spoke to you. I forgot, was I supposed to ring you today, Andrew? We spoke yesterday, didn't we? Hi, Peter and everyone from a sunny Studland Beach with a beautiful view over Poole and Bournemouth. Andrew's off on his travels soon. Quite a rigorous itinerary. Marcus Mustard, what's up? Rayon Seeger, never understand a Honda Click 125. They go fast for the size of the wheels. Well, they do different sizes. Ideally, the one you want is they do a 150 or a 155 now. They were initially 125, but you're better to get the solid wheels, you know. I think so. Anyway, keep the cleaner easy. How you doing? Yours travels. Good afternoon. Booty 666. You really don't want to go back to England? I've got no choice. I mean, I'm selling my house and I'm giving most of the money to my wife. We've made an arrangement which I won't go into here, but I've got to go back to sign things off, to chuck things out, I've got to go to my bank, change my address. You know, I've got debit cards and stuff have to be posted out here. I'm not looking forward to it. When I come back, the night, you know, when I get on that plane, it lands, and I come back, you know, rather than years of like checking into hotel, you know what it's like. You arrive at the airport, you get the taxi, you get to your hotel room, you have to show your passport. It's going to be different for me. I'll jump in the taxi, you know, I'll come through and my apartment's here already. All my stuff's here. You know, I'll probably phone up some friends and go out because I can't stay here on my own. I'll be so depressed about the whole thing. I've got a video coming out on Wednesday. It should be interesting for you. It's Wednesday or Thursday. You know, I've been looking into health insurance because I'm 63 in April. I did a lot of research and I found a company, and I was very happy with them. And then when they made me the offer, I turned them down. Very disappointed with this company. I'm not going to name them because of the libelous laws in Thailand. But if you watch my streams and videos regularly, you'll know who I'm talking about. So what I've decided to do, I'm going to self-insure. And if you've never heard that term before, look out for that video. It's not a video giving you advice on what company to go for health insurance, anything like that. And it's not a whining slate off video. It's a 20-minute video. I've just simply gone on there. I've gone through the whole process of what I've done to decide to go with that company. bit of Apple there. What I did to, why I chose that company, and then the forms I filled in, the tests I took, and everything, and then the end result, and then what they sent me, and why I said get stuff to them. Right, that'll be out on Wednesday, Thursday, and that'll blow your mind. That video, when you watch that, you'll think twice about health insurance. Right, Capio, how you doing, mate? Good to have you in. Do you see yourself married again or getting an exclusive relationship? Mongering seems a lonely lifestyle to me. I've never really been a monger, to be honest with you. I don't want to say too much because I don't know who's watching, and there's people have tried to make trouble for me out there. There's people who watch this stream who have they've done things which I don't want to talk about now. But once it's all done and dusted, I'll tell you guys what happened. Quite nasty, actually. But in answer to your question, yeah, I mean, it's not out the window. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know why people say to be honest with you. It's like you always lie, isn't it? But no, let's read your question, try and answer it as best I can. Do you see yourself marrying again and getting an exclusive relationship? Mongering seems a lonely life. Yeah, I've never really been a monger. Um, if I found a girlfriend here, she'd have to be a nice girl. She'd have to hold down a job because I don't want anybody. It's not about money. If she doesn't have a job, she'd be hanging around and she'd get on my nerves. Right? I don't want that. She'd have to have a job. She'd have to. The English communication isn't a problem, but she'd have to be a nice girl. You know what I mean by a nice girl? She works. Someone that can say, "Come on, let's go down to Pattaya for the weekend," or "Do you fancy going out for dinner in the cinema tonight?" or "Do you want to come round and watch a movie?" Just like that, slowly, that you can have a friendship with. I think that's more important. Okay, mongering's great when you go out for a couple of weeks, okay, but it's not, you can't live like that forever. Good question, Capio. Right, Steve, you saying hi to everyone? Right, Rio Rennie. Peter, last year I sold my apartment in Gothenburg and moved permanently to Rio. Best thing I ever done. I retired last. Yeah, it's great. It's great. A lot of people said to me, "Oh, what are you doing going out to Thailand? Do you think it's the right decision?" I'm like, "Of course it's the right decision. I'm dead in England. Absolutely dead." Right, Lester Paul, you've half started your new life, Peter. It will all work out fine, mate. Different, but you will be free. And already, Lester Paul. I'm already feeling like that. But what it is, what you got to remember is I was married for 33 years. I'm going back. I'll see my two daughters, my wife, and this is it now. It's kind of, this has been like a dress rehearsal. It's been good that I came out here for so long because when I go back, I know now I've made some mistakes here with my lifestyle. Let's put it that way. I haven't been as good as I should have been, late nights and all the rest of it. Spent a lot more money than I should have done, but I can now go back for a week, figure it out, think how I'm going to conduct my life. I definitely want to do more input to YouTube. Okay, I've been slightly lazy. What I want to start doing is like that guy, Everything Pattaya. I should be doing that in Bangkok. Apartment reviews, hotel reviews, good restaurants, cheap restaurants, 5-star hotels that are not so expensive. That's what I want to get into, as well as keeping the stories going. And I want to. At the moment, I'm getting up at lunchtime every day. It's ridiculous. And by the time I've had my coffee and cleaned the apartment and everything, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then you think, well, what shall I do? I want to be going to bed early, getting up at 9 in the morning, getting out there, videoing, editing, get that video up there every other day, and then the other next day I can have to myself, and then the next day same thing again. But yeah, Paul, you're right. I mean, it will be good, but it's just that getting on the aeroplane. It's finally happened. It's gonna be difficult. Oh. Right, Dick's enormous. When you're back, get a fish tank, and fishes will help your boredom and thoughts. Yeah, I'm only going to be back for I've calculated maximum probably. Uh, I'd say probably anywhere between 10 days and 14 days. That's all. I hope if it all goes the way I'm planning, I should be back within 2 weeks. Go to Soy 3, Stephen. Paul Hoskins, how you doing? I'll definitely put yours up for today. Once you've had your fill of bargos, it's time to say hello to the cleaning ladies. All right, might know. Paul Warwick, best thing, Peter, is if you will be coming back to your apartment in Bangkok. Yeah, absolutely, Paul. I was talking to somebody today. Now, I don't believe this, right? But somebody told me there were 200 YouTubers in Pattaya. I mean, they're not all big. I mean, you've got people like Buzzin and Everything Pattaya, those sort of guys. But then you go right down to the guys who just got a few hundred subscribers. I mean, a couple of hundred, is there? We'll have to do a competition and just try and name them all and see how many we can come up with. Not today, another day. Right. Let's have a look. What else? Right. Let me give you some news. Okay. Let me just try and get this chair up a bit. I'm going to turn this off for a minute because it's absolutely freezing. Come on. Oh, good. I think it's gone down to the second setting. So it'll start warming up and then I'll have to turn it down. Right. Okay. Enough of that. Right, I'm going to give you some good news. There's a lot of guys. I have to thank. God, I forgot his name. Geezers, Jason, for this information. There's a lot of guys, they come out here and they want to open a bank account, and they've got this assumption that you can't open a bank account on a tourist visa. Why? Because there's people who go onto YouTube, they give all this information. They're all experts out there, including me, right? Some of them give out false information, and some of them have said you can't. If you come out here, you've got to be on a retirement visa, or you've got to be on a work permit before you can open a bank account. And it's catch-22 because you can't open a bank account because you don't have the visas. You can't get the visas because you haven't got the bank accounts. Well, I've got good news for you. Let me keep you hanging on a string for a minute. If you want to open a bank account, but you're essentially a tourist, maybe you've got a girlfriend out here and it would just be easy to set up a direct debit. From the UK, you put a couple of £1,000, or from America, you put a couple of $1,000 in your Bangkok bank account. Yeah, your local account, and then you set up a direct debit. Once it's in there there's no exchange rates or anything like that. So you might want to send some friend, a little girl somewhere, 10,000 baht a month, 12,000 baht a month, just to help her out. You put a couple of £1,000 in there, you set up the direct debit, and it goes out every month, just the way I pay my rent here. It's handy for that. Another good thing about it is, if you've got a Bangkok bank account, you get here, you stick £2,000 in it. You don't have to keep going to money exchanges. You don't have to worry about the exchange rates. You change your money once, get the best rate you can, stick your £2,000 in baht, which is about 80,000 baht at today's current value. Stick it in your Bangkok bank or your whatever bank you're with. And then every time you want money, you do what I do. You don't bother going to exchange booths. All I do is I take that, I go to an ATM, I stick it in. I did it today, get some money out. Right, so how do you get this elusive bank account? Quite simple, actually. What you do is you go down to your embassy. Jason, he's British, so he went to the British embassy, and you tell them you want your passport endorsed. Okay, it costs you about £20, $25. You just go down there on the day. Could you please endorse my passport? They'll give you a letter. It's crazy, really, because of course your passport's genuine because you used it to come into the passport. But hey, this is Thailand, right? So what you do is you go down there. Please endorse this license. Here's £20. Thank you very much. They give you the letter. You go to your bank. You give them your passport. You give them the letter. Within 24 hours, you've got your own bank account. Okay, it's as simple as that. And anybody who tells you anything different, they don't know what they're talking about. Right? Okay. Right, Brian Street. Don't sound a good trip, mate, but the full stop on this sentence needs. Yeah. Well, you're right, Brian. The sooner I go, the sooner I come back. Right. Right, Mark Hewitt again. You seem happy and more relaxed since you moved. Keep your hands up, get knocked down 3 times, get up 4. Yeah, absolutely, Mark. I'll tell you what I'm going to do to cheer myself up now. I'm going to put the Monga minute on because I put it up once at the beginning and once at the end. It's actually a Monga 2 minutes today. So I'll put this on and I'll go and grab myself a beer. I don't know if it's, let me just get rid of that failed Monga so that doesn't get in the way. There we go. I think it's not a bad one this week. Let's have a look. Where is it? I've got to find the bloody thing. Right, here we go. Tasty, very tasty. Okay, we'll put that on at the end there. I said that because I watched Minder last night. Do you remember Arthur Daly? Brilliant character. Okay, let's talk about clickbait now because some people say to me, "Oh, you use clickbaits. Every single one of your thumbnails have got a half-naked lady on there." And I say, "So what? Everyone likes to look at a pretty lady." But they've been doing it for a long time. I'll just say thank you to the fake head for this one. Now look at this. This is a movie poster. Just read that. I mean, if that's not clickbait, I don't know what is. He kidnapped beautiful women, forcing them to do what he wanted, and he wanted everything. An explosion of sexual frenzy, a muck. Now, if that's not clickbait, I don't know what is. Thank you for that. Right, okay, let's have a look. What we're doing now. Capio again. Do you see yourself? Oh, I've already read that, haven't I? Let's have a look. Right, Andrew's real word. Yummy, tasty birds on the Monga minute. Yeah, okay. A few crackers there. I don't know. Did you spot the? I think there was a katoi in there. I think it was the one in the swimming pool. I'm not sure, but there seems to be a lot of people in here who complain that I don't read stories about lady boys or I don't do enough with the lady boys. So I thought, why not? Like the thumbnail today. Right, David Pipe, how you doing? I'm surprised to hear about the health insurance issue. Thought you had it sorted. I did, David. I'm interested in the details since I plan on doing the retirement visa next year, moving to Jompton. I don't want to give it away right now, David. I still think they're a good insurance company. Um, it's really difficult to explain without giving it away. I really give it in detail. I read out the report from the hospitals. I'm fairly healthy. There's some small things, okay, but what they came back to me with was absolutely ridiculous, okay. And I said to the guy, "Would you buy a car without an engine in it?" He said, "No." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "It'd be useless." And I said, "What's the bloody point of this health insurance then?" Okay, but I don't want to give it away now. That'll be released on Wednesday or Thursday. The title of the video is called Health Insurance. I'm not going to, why I won't take out a policy. Okay. So you'll have to like keep your fingers hanging on that cliff, David. But I'll give you all the reasons because I'm not a cavalier person, right? I didn't just put, it wasn't pin the donkey. I researched health insurance for a good year. And this company I came up with, I was going to spend 33,000 baht a year for a mid price package. Okay. It wasn't their cheapest, it wasn't their best, but it was okay. I've got a bloody headache tonight. Just open these up if I can. Uh, yeah, so Wednesday or Thursday, yeah. Right, who else we got? Simon May's Epic Manga Minute. We'll do that again at the end, Simon, because they take a while to put together. Paul Warwick, awesome monks. Oh, you like the Manga Minute this week? Some are better than others, you know. We'll just get these pills down. Oh. Right, okay. I'll tell you the other thing I like about out here. There's a lot of things I like about Thailand, but the one thing I really like, one of the best things, all the prescription drug, I say all like I'm a drug addict, but all the prescription medicine that I take, I don't have to go to a doctor's and fill out forms and go online every month and go out in my car to the pharmacy. I just go down to Sukhumvit and they got everything, absolutely everything. I bought my month's supply today. I take a statin, 890 baht for a month's supply. It's about 22 pounds, 25 US dollars. I take an acid reflux tablet every day because I get acid. Done it for 20 years. 85 baht for 20. Cheap as chips. Right, Jay-Z, what does self-insure really mean? Right, again, Jay-Z, I'm going to keep you hanging on that cliff because it's a terminology that's kind of it's it's a terminology that isn't really official, but it does mean something, okay? And in the video that let me just say let me just say hi to Peter from Thai Legal Protection. I think I know what they did. I bet, yeah, well, okay, I'm not going to mention the name, Peter, but I've never said no, it wasn't. Okay. Um, okay, so what was that comment again? What self-insure? Yeah, okay. Okay, so I'll tell you what self-insure is. Okay, that's not going to give too much away. So what self-insure means? It basically means, uh, uh, no, I'm not going to tell you, because I've done all this on the video. And when you watch the video, it's going to be really interesting. If I tell you now, it's pointless to watch a video. You have to hang on till Wednesday or Thursday, okay? I'll tell you all about my research, what I did, what questions I asked him. He had to go back to the underwriter and ask lots of questions because he didn't know the answers, okay? I finally chose this company because they ticked all the boxes. Some small things that I told them about were small, but they made a mountain out of a molehill. I rejected them, and now I'm going to self-insure. And I go through all the details. And Peter, we'll talk about that on our next. We'll talk about that on our next when we have a chat again because you seem to know all about it already. Yeah, Paul Hosker's a Monga cleaning lady minute. Well, you got to be careful, Paul. You can't walk around malls filming cleaners. The Thais have got a thing about filming. When I bumped into Ying Lee, the singer that I showed you earlier, the famous one, okay, so she was there dancing and prancing about, and they have people running around with walkie-talkie radios and being all important and all the rest of it. And there was some people running around over there. Well, I got my phone out and I filmed her for about a minute, and I got it, turned it off, went with Michael around the other side, and I thought I'll film from here. It's a good angle as well. Got my phone, and this woman goes, "No filming, no filming, you can't film." Well, you know, in the UK they'll be like, "Well, it's public footpath. I can film where I want to," but I don't argue with the Thais. So I just very quickly flicked the camera and says, "It's on me, it's on me. Look," and she was like, grunted, and nothing else done. Right. Only in Thailand, self-insured to have a lump sum in the bank to use them. Yeah, a little bit more to it than that. I will explain it though, as I say. What I'm doing tonight, guys, because people complain that I get so far behind in the comments that when I actually talk about somebody's comments, it doesn't mean anything because it was half an hour ago. So what I'm doing from now on is if I have a little rant about something, then what I'll do, I'm going to come back to the latest comments and work backwards. So if you say something and you think it's really important, just put it down again. I can't get them all. I think it was Andrew. Andrew was whining about that. Only joking, Andrew. Right, Steve, self-insurance is great until you need a 7-hour triple heart biter. No, yeah, yes and no. I've explained how to get around that. You're not okay. I'm not going to give it away. Okay, I'm not going to open up here. But all I'll say to you, Steve, is I've got an answer for that. Okay, a very black and white answer. Real Deal TV. Hey, Peter, are you doing a review on your last hotel in Pattaya? No way. It was rat infested. Absolutely disgusting. They've got libelous laws here in Thailand. It's not I'm scared or I think something will happen to me, but the Thais take it really serious. If you start slating a business, even if they're wrong, right, you can get arrested. We've seen it happen before. The guys who did it, they were prats. They did it. They went over the top, right? But when you live here, you don't ruffle any feathers, okay? And I would probably be okay to do a little review, but I'm not going to come on here and start telling you the name of the hotel and what I seen and the size of the rats that were running around this place. I'll just never stay there again. It was, if I meet you on a one-on-one, if I sit in the bar and I meet a lot of guys out here and they say, "Hey, Peter, what was that? What was that hotel you stayed at?" I'll tell you, but I'm not in a public forum. Okay, Dick's enormous. No expection of privacy in public place. Tell these helmets that next time someone says you're a can't film in public. Yeah, but you can't. You can't. You see, this all the ties. Michael was telling me about this because he does a lot more filming than me. Because when I go out filming, I'm very specific. I'll go and film something like the motorbike shop or a hotel review or something. But Michael, he films everything. He's got this bloody great thing, and he walks around malls and supermarkets. He'll film his KFC. He's just one of those guys. Okay. And the Thais come up to him all the time and they're like, no, no, no filming, no filming. Well, I've never had a problem because if I see something in Tesco Lotus, like the helmets, Michael said he was filming rolls of helmets and they were like, no filming. Well, I don't have this big thing, Michael said he's done it on his camera. He's still got told off as well. But I've got my camera and I'll just very discreetly film it a couple of seconds and that's it, and I've never had a problem. Right, Dave the Rave, where are we? Peter, do you know what is the name of Nick's bar from NDTV? Went past Buzzing Bar yesterday. Yeah, it's called. He's got 3 bars actually. Do you mean the one on Soy 7? I think it's called the Hacienda. Right, I haven't seen Damon in here tonight. So what about Franco? Franco's gone to bed early at the moment, so I haven't seen. I don't think I've got any moderators in tonight, so the trolls can have a field day. Peter. Defamation laws are very strict here, so that's good. Call Peter not to post a review on the video. Yeah, so if you don't know who Peter is, Peter's in Pattaya, but he's got a company that's, I'll give you a little plug here now, Peter, because I've got his card here. Peter works, there's his card. Peter works with a lot of well, he's got how can I describe? He's got a company, a legal company, okay, and he has a membership. It's about just under 800 baht a month, right? And he works with Thai lawyers, and it's a quite a professional setup. And what it is, if you're a member of his website, what happens is if 3 o'clock in the morning you get caught on your motorbike drunk and you're behind bars, they've got 24-hour lawyers. You can call them and these lawyers will come down to the police station and they'll talk to the police. If the police in Phuket say, look, you come to sort this out, but don't bring any lawyers, they'll bring a lawyer anyway. If you rent an apartment and you get the contract in Thai and you don't know what it says, give it to if you're paying the membership, you can give it to them. Their Thai lawyers scrutinize it, phone up the landlord and ask about certain things. So that's what Peter does. Peter's not a lawyer himself, but he owns or runs a company with his partner, and I do videos with Peter. So it's not a bad service, actually, if you're worried about getting into trouble. Right, let's have a look. Keith Reynolds, why are the pop-up banners blurred? I don't know what you're talking about, Keith. Which pop-up banners? Black banners. George, how you doing? Matthew, I caught myself in such a video talking with a freelancer. Yeah, and that's another thing as well. You start filming these girls in the bars and stuff, a lot of them don't like it, because they don't tell their families they work in bars. They're all cashiers in big restaurants, aren't they? Matthew, chill vibes. Nick's bar. Okay, right, I'll put that up there. That's his bars, right? Somebody was asking about Nick's bars. Oh, I've never been in any of these bars, funny enough. I don't know why. It's not because I'm avoiding them in purpose. I just haven't been in them. Let me just change this. It's getting a bit boring in the background here, isn't it? Get back at your comments. Let's stick something nicer up there. It's a bit more eye candy there. Right, Matthew, lots of YouTube videos I love with scenes on soy 4, etc. are not pixelated so you can see everyone's face, but I'm surprised these videos aren't taken down. Yeah, what you'll notice, a lot of them don't have adverts on them because people put these videos out there, but YouTube won't monetize them because they're not bad enough to say we're banning you, or you can't put these videos up or they're copyrighted, but they don't like them, but they'll put up with them, but they won't put their they won't show them to their advertisers because they just think they're too they're too risque, as it were. You'll see one or two, I'm not going to name names, but you'll see one or two big YouTubers in Pattaya. They're up to 20,000, 25,000 subscribers, and you'll never, even if you haven't got a premier membership on YouTube, you'll see they don't have adverts on there, and they'll bullshit a bit and say things like, oh, any donations received are grateful because we don't want to put adverts on here. It's all about you guys and just watching video, and it's not. They're not allowed to have adverts on there. I know because it happened to me at the beginning. Right, only in Thailand. Yours travels self-assure is great until you. Oh, I've read that one, haven't I? That's the problem with going backwards. Just read them again. Right, again, Steve. You've taken part tonight. My travel insurance does 60 days max trip cover, so it's good for April and May trip, but need to sort something for my 4 months winter trip. We'll talk about that. I do want you to watch that video. If anybody's thinking of taking out personal life insurance, not life insurance, health insurance when they come out here, I say it how it is on this video, okay? You won't have any questions after it. I tell it like it is, and you'll think twice about health insurance when you come out here. Not to say be cavalier and don't have anything, but I do suggest an alternative. Okay, what's no strings, laugh out loud, great name, Dixie. Yeah, no, I didn't miss it. I've said it before. It's a great name, Dixonormous. It is. There's quite a few good names out there that I've mentioned. Right. Try to get right angle lens from the camera. There's a couple of really good YouTubers who that's all they do in 4K. One is called well, I won't give out the names now, but you know who they are. And all they do, they just walk at night through all the bar scenes, and they're excellent, excellent. I mean, I can't knock them, but that's not what I do. I did a couple of nighttime rides, and the quality was absolutely crap. Okay, I bought a GoPro 10, and I was talking to Michael about this because he does a lot of filming. The GoPro 10s are absolute crap at night. I've gone onto YouTube and I've done all the settings. I've reduced the shutter speed so more light can come in, and CB Media, he does all his on his phone. And I said to Michael, I said, well, I use a Samsung. The picture quality is excellent. All the stories I record on my Samsung phone. What I'm using now is a Nexigo camera. It's about £50, $60. Not bad, as you can see. And but apparently, is it Ched his name or Chaz? He does them all on his phone. So what I said to Michael, when I go out in the daytime, the GoPro is like Hollywood studio quality. It's brilliant. But as soon as you go out and film at night on a motorbike, it's absolutely crap. And I'm like, well, how do these guys go out and film such high quality videos? So I'm always working on that stuff. And what I'm going to do the next time I do a motorcycle ride at night, I'm going to use my camera, strap it to my chest, because your body absorbs a lot of the vibration, and we'll just see how it comes out. I've never used the mobile phone as a camera at night because I just think it wouldn't be suitable. But anyway, this isn't a live stream about how to be a YouTuber, right? Richard Willard, Peter on the motor. Okay. Peter on the motorcycle driving like Barashim was great. Speeded it up. A lot of people didn't realise it was sped up. They were telling me off saying it was amazing. I'm really gutted. I've lost my motorcycle license. I don't mean it's been taken off me. I mean I've lost it. I physically lost it. I kept it on in the second slot on my phone. I went to look. I looked everywhere. So I phoned up Lana today. I said, look, I've lost my motorcycle license. What do I do to get a replacement? She said, you'll have to come down here to Pattaya and go and make a police report, and then I can get you a replacement in a single day. But you have to have that police report, and I know I'm going to have to pay out. It's not going to be free. I've got no problems going down to Pattaya for a couple of nights. It's a good excuse, but I'm just gutted because it's my Thai driving license. I've lost it. Luckily, I've got photos of it on my phone, so I'm still okay if I get stopped. Right, Peter again. Peter has a great visa agent he works with and made a video about his experience. Yeah, that's Lana Farang Visa in Pattaya. She's very, very good. Some people said she's expensive. I don't think she's any more expensive than anybody else, but she does a good service. Do you know what? I think we'll do a competition now, guys. What should we do? Let's do Spot the Thai Girl. Okay, so you know the game by now. There's it'll give you a little break to go and put the kettle on or whatever if you're not into it. Let's have a quick look here. Just make sure I haven't missed anything out. Yeah. Do you know what? Talking about going home, going to the airport, and it's just so close. It's depressing. This is going to be me soon.
Attention, please. This is the final call of Thai Airways International Flight.
I don't want to get on it. Anyway, okay, what we're going to do, we're going to do a competition. Right, okay, so you know the drill. There's 8 pictures of 8 girls from Asia, around Southeast Asia and some other parts of Asia. And I want to know which one of these girls, which number is the Thai girl, because there's only one Thai girl in the 8. So have a good look. You've got plenty of time, about a minute it will be on screen for. Just tell me which one is the Thai. Okay, just before I get into this, who knows which one is a Thai girl, I just want to, Ben Leno, let me just put his or her picture up there. I actually got a notification about you, Ben, from YouTube. It didn't bother me because in my eyes, you didn't really do nothing wrong. But basically, they're very, very good at copyright issues, anything to do with your channel name. And you put out, I didn't know, it's because YouTube told me about it. You put out a 1-minute short on Pattaya Beach, and within the SEO you put some of the famous YouTubers in Pattaya, like Buzz in Pattaya, and you put my name there, at Thailand Bound. So what happened is YouTube picked that up and they sent it to me and said somebody's using your name, and I went to look at it. I thought, well, he's just trying to get a bit of SEO on that 1-minute clip, and I didn't do nothing about it. But it just shows you, if you're trying to build a YouTube channel, be very, very careful, because you can't hide anything. Okay, right, all right, so we're finding out which one is a Thai lady. Right, let's go through it. Simon, no. Richard Woolley, yes. No Strings, no. George, well done, mate. You got it. Tony, no. Chris, no. Steve, no. Maria, no. Only in Thailand, no. Tommy Keeley, no. No Name, no. Jeff Say, no. Dix Enormous, no. Mark Hanley, no. Anders Bergman, no. Mortimer Duke, you got it. Well done. Charles Stewart Wright, no. Steve Gibson, no. Rublude, no. Mike Braithwaite, no. Ricardo, no. Rumble, no. Brian Street, no. Paul B, yes. Arnold Dolsing, is it? Yes. Real Rennie, no. Martin Ryder, no. Paul Scarth, no. Michael DiCaprio, hi Peter, no, not 6. Jason, Yes, well done. You've been here a couple of weeks. You know your Thai girls now. Dutch Farang, no. Joyce's Roma, no. Jim Davis, no. Capio, no. Donald Pearson, Capio, I'm surprised at you, mate. Boulder Dan, yes. Ben, no. Don, no. Martin Cormac, no. 4K Chill Vibes, only one guest allowed at a time, and they're both wrong, unfortunately. Real Deal TV, no. I can't say your name. And Andreas Backers, is it? No. Bootney 66, no. Peter Thai Legal Protection, yes, well done. Gebor Panicus, yes. Artur Lax, no. Michael, yes. Toby Price, no. Andrew's Real World, yes. You can tell people have been here a long time, can't you? Darren Howe, no. Charles Saunders, no. No Name, no. Craig Mitchum, yes. Redfield, Denmark, no. Motel, no. Right. I'm just going to tell you the right, whoever's got it right now, because it's, get through this. So if you don't hear your name, you didn't guess it right. Thailand Clucker, yes. Any more for any more? Mr. Superstar, yes, well done to you. Innovations, yes. Any more? Mortimer Duke, yes. I just missed another one there. Who was that? Mortimer Duke, and I think that's it. Anybody else? Dave Darkin, you got it right, mate. Well done. Mortimer Duke, yes. Soda Pop Curtis, how are you doing? You got it right. Okay, I think we're almost there. Let's put the right answer up. Are you ready? I'll put you out your misery for all. It's a bit shorter, this one. George, no Korean this week. No, we had a North Korean last week. No name, Saigon here. Where have you gone? I missed it. Saigon here. I come. Yeah, absolutely. Would take three. Simon. Well, let's face it, guys. Look, be honest. If you're sitting in the UK or the States somewhere, and any one of those 8 girls knocked on your door and said, "I've got nowhere to sleep tonight. Can you do me a favour?" Would you say no? Right. Toby Price, been here 14 years and still can't get it right. All right. Richard, number one gov, only in Thailand, Paul Scarthman. You might notice I'm speaking slightly quietly because I say this every week. I seen the guy who lives above me outside the other day. He looks a bit tasty, so I don't want to mess around. But as long as you can hear me, that's the main thing, right? And just a reminder, if you come into the stream late, I'm going to attempt to do next Sunday's stream at 10 p.m. like we did in the old days. I've got over 300 in now, but when I was in the UK doing them at 10 till midnight on a Friday and Sunday, I was getting close to 500 people in the streams. I just want to do a bit of an experiment to see if people don't watch me anymore because I've become totally boring, or it's a case of just the times, Right, who else we got? Only in Thailand, Paul Scath, member, 2 months, darn it. Number 2, I bet there, enjoy. Don't forget, we've still got the Ladyboy competition later on, so second chance. Kelly Harnett, is it? Is that, Kelly, is it? Because that could be a guy or a girl, Kelly, couldn't it? Be nice if it was a woman. We've got a few women in these days. Okay. Primo Patia, Sin City. How you doing? Paul Hoskins, stunning, number 7. They're all pretty good. I'm not even going to say that name. That's a fake head, right? But what a name. Tommy Knockers. Right, that's still giving answers down there. Right, David Heisberg. How you doing? Look like a Russell. Number 4, not number 3. So damn close, yeah. And so far away. Dixon Ormus, plans for a sub meeting in Bangkok and plans to travel to the other Asian countries, plans for a Songkran. Yeah, I mean, that comes up quite a lot. I mean, the thing is, I've mentioned a lot of times, I do like meeting viewers, and I've met a lot here. Like, you can't see me now, I'll take that off. I do like meeting viewers, and I do like I don't think I'm ever going to have an arranged get together. That's Trevor's sort of thing, isn't it? He gets like 200 guys together and they fit into like tiny go-go bars. Only joking, Trevor, if you watch this. No, I mean, Trevor does a lot of that. He does a lot of organising bar crawls and members' nights and all this. He's Mr. Patio, isn't it? But it's not really me. I don't do stuff like that. I mean, if somebody comes into town, they give me a call and I'm about, I'll meet them. It's like Jason, okay? Geezers. He's a viewer. I don't know him from Adam. He flew in. He told me where he's staying. I met him. I said, well, I ain't got time. I walk around the park every night, 3 miles or so. I'm walking around the park. He said, I'll come with you. I said, yeah, fine, come around. We've done it twice now. We've had lunch together. He's become a friend. But some guys, I've mentioned this before, some guys get a bit shitty with me because what happens, they've been watching me for a couple of years and they say, oh, I'm coming to Bangkok on Wednesday. I'll be out in Nana Plaza. And they expect me to be there at midnight in Nana Plaza till 3 o'clock in the morning, like doing like shots of tequila. And I don't do that anymore, right? And the other thing is, if they write to me and say, okay, I'll be there. Let's go out and hit it hard, on a Tuesday. I'll say, no, I want to meet you, but let's do lunch or let's have a coffee or something like that, or let's have a few early beers. Because I just don't do like, heavy nights anymore. I can't, I'm getting old and, or I don't like to, I'm not saying I can't, but some guys get a bit shitty with me because sometimes they'll land and it just happens to be at the wrong time. I've got so much going on and I really can't meet them. I've got to get the stories out or something like that. And they get off. I told you about the guy in Pattaya about 3 months ago. I was absolutely wasted. That night I had been out partying and I was drinking. I must have drank half a bottle of whiskey and 6 cans, maybe not that much, but I was absolutely wasted. And I got to the point I thought, I've got to get home. It was like 2 in the morning. I was sweating. You know what it's like? You feel really dirty. I was hungry. I'd been out since 4 in the afternoon drinking, and I just felt like I've just got to get under a shower and go to bed. And I couldn't look at a beer, let alone drink. And this guy stopped me and he said, oh, Peter, yeah, come and have a drink. Come and have a drink. And I said, look, I'll meet you tomorrow. Where are you staying? What time? Where do you want to meet? I'll meet you here at 7 tomorrow. I said, I just can't do it, Matt. I said, I've been out since 4. And I tried to explain nicely to him, but he wouldn't have it. So the next, because I had his number because he'd texted me the day before, and then he bumped into me, and I thought I woke up and I remembered him, and I texted him. I said, "Oh, sorry about last night. I was absolutely wasted. I just had to get home. Do you want to meet up and I'll buy you a beer?" Or didn't answer me, right? So I left it a couple of days, wrote to him again. Didn't answer me again. So he got shitty because I didn't stop right there and then when he wanted me to have a drink with him. He got really shitty with me. Well, I'm sorry, but I mean, I phoned you the next day. If you're watching, we won't be watching, will he? Because he's got the shits on with me. But I phoned him the next day, and I wanted to invite him for lunch. But you just can't please some people. Alan Hill, why do you keep repeating the same subjects every stream? Just to annoy you, Alan. Why else would I do it? Right, Ben. Michael DiCaprio, Robin Hood, Soy 33 one. Yeah, they do very, very good Sunday lunches there, Ben. They've got a Robin Hood down in Pattaya as well. It's very good. I had the Sunday roast there, but it's quite expensive, quite expensive. But you pay for what you get, don't you? Right, that's quite a good idea actually. Rub loud. Hi Peter, I wonder if you could make a manga show with all the manga moments from the past. That's a really good idea actually. Bear with me a second. Yeah, that'd be good because I've done 20 now. Funny enough, I can remember because I remember making the folder. But I think it's too soon to do that because some of these things play themselves out. They get to the point and think, well, it's enough now. And do you remember I used to do it was the Hooters girls, wasn't it? I used to do like groups of Hooters girls and say, which are the Thai Hooter girls, Chinese Hooter girls? And that got to the point it was kind of exhausting. I thought, well, I'm not going to do that anymore. I've cut that out. The Ladyboy competition is still popular, as is the Spot the Thai girl, because it's pretty girls, right? Well, the manga minute's really popular at the moment. So I'm going to keep doing it. And when it gets to the point where it gets a bit tired, I'll leave it for a month. And then what I'll do, I'll go and get all the manga minutes and I'll put them into a full well, it'll only be 20 minutes at the moment, but by the time it comes up, maybe it'll be an hour, and that'd be quite fun. A whole hour of manga minutes joining, because that's what I did with the Nat and Dave cartoons. They were 10-minute segments, and when Simon finished doing them, because people were asking for them, I made them into a 1 hour movie. I made the Dave and Jason thing into a 1 hour movie, but unfortunately, I missed out. Episode 8 where Dave punched Jason in the head for stealing Nat, but it's still up there anyway. Okay, Toby Price. When I get full of drink, I do the great escape, like my bed too much. Yeah, you do. You hit a wall, don't you? Everybody does. When you're out, you just think you could be halfway through a beer and you think, I can't touch another drop, And sometimes you'll offend people. I'll tell you what I used to do. This was very, very frequent for me. Oh, that's gone down well. In the old days, Therme used to be open all night. Literally, you'd come out and the Thais were going to work. They looked through the bus window at you like they were looking at Martians. I've come out of Therme at 6:15 in the morning, absolutely leathered. And I forgot the point of the story now. What was the question? Oh yeah, escaping. So I go into Therme with some friends, and these people, they just didn't know when to switch off, when to go home, and I'd be in there and they wouldn't let me go. It'd be like 4 in the morning. I was absolutely plastered and I wanted to go home. I wanted to have a shower and get into some cool sheets and sleep or go home and grab a sandwich or something. And these are guys who just can't let it go until they get thrown out onto the street. It's got to be drinking time. And I could never say goodbye to them. Every week we used to go to Thermie every single Saturday night. They'd stay there till the early hours. I've done it, 6:15 in the morning. You come out, it's daylight, you're pissed. And, if you're not from the UK, pissed is different to what it means in America. It means you're very, very drunk. And what I used to do, I used to go to the toilet and escape out the back door because Thermie in those days, you could go down at the front and the back door, the toilets were right next to the kitchen. So they've actually been told to move them away from the kitchen now. They've built new ones. I was down there a few weeks ago. And yeah, that's what I used to do. I used to, because if I said I'll go and see you tomorrow, they'd be like, "No, no, have another beer," and they'd grab you and say, "Wait, get him a beer, have a whiskey, have a," and you couldn't get out. So I used to go out the back door, and they'd say to me the next night, "What happened to you?" And I'd say, "Oh, I met this girl," and load of bullshit, but that you had to do it. Right, Mara, but thank you very much for that. Is that €10? Thank you for your comment to Alan Hill. Yeah, I mean you get the mean. I haven't got any moderators in tonight. He's just he's probably in Pattaya. He's been out. He's just come across. I've never heard of him before. He's probably come across a stream, and he just puts a shitty comment. I've blocked him now. He won't be back. Right, Donald Pearson. I would like to go to Cambodia and see Angkor Wat. It is. Yeah, I think you would do a video from there. It is a holy place, isn't it? You've got to be respectful. There's no reason not to do a video, I suppose. I have actually been to Cambodia. I'll tell you what upset me was the killing fields and a converted school. I think it was called S21. And what happened when the Khmer Rouge took over, Pol Pot, and the whole story, right? They converted this school into an interrogation center. And when you go in there, you can see all the pictures on the walls of all the kids, women, men. They'd actually terrorized them and then took their pictures, and you could see the terror in their faces. Awful place, and they haven't changed anything. Still dry blood on the floor, in certain rooms where they strap people to beds and did things with tweezers and pliers. You don't want to know about it, right? And then they took us out to people talk about the killing fields like there was just one or two. They were everywhere, right? But the one we went to was the famous one with all the skulls and the glass case, and it is very emotional and it's very, very hard to get to grips with it. When I went out, and it did affect me. I'm a very emotional person, and it affected me for about 3 days. And one of the pits that had about 60 graves in it, there was a tree next to this pit, and it had quite a big indentation on it. And I said to the guide said to me, "Do you know what caused that?" And I'm like, "Well, no, of course not." And apparently to save bullets, the little ones, the kiddies, they used to pick them up by the ankles, and you have to guess the rest. And awful. And you go to there, and I don't care how hard you are, it will affect you. And if you're a bit of an emotional person like me, it's very hard to get those images out of your mind. So, oh yeah, right, okay. No name. Killing Fields was interesting, but yes, it's perfect. Not for everyone. Yeah, some of these things. The thing about a country like Cambodia, they don't dress it up. A lot of other countries, the history, it's all dressed up, isn't it? There's all like ways you walk, and it's all roped off, and you've got guys with peak caps. They don't do that in Asia. A lot of it, especially in a country like Cambodia, it was left. They've got a few security in there that just watch people don't take artifacts, and it's as it was. So it's quite, you can really feel the spirit of the place. Um, okay, Ben says, I went last month to S21. Well, you'll know what I'm talking about, Ben. It's an awful place, isn't it? Tol Sang, yeah. Uh, really? Panties, I said I wouldn't say it, but it's late now. Panties down before money down. Don't want to put. There are a lot of bar girls at Angkor Wat. Is there really? Is there really? I mean, that's a sacred site, isn't it? Um, okay, let's see some of the latest here. Right, John Ashworth. Do you know if there are any expat groups in Bangkapai, Lapo 101? Yeah, was there for 2 months last year. Yeah, well, yeah, you've got to do your research. It's all out there on Google, and basically, Bangkok's a huge city, absolutely huge, and of course, it's a Thai city with Thai people, but there are enclaves of foreigners. Areas, and I went to a fantastic place last week. I told you it was when we went to the motorbike shop. It's I can't remember what the station was, but you've got On Nut, so you've got Nana, Edgemere, it goes all the way through, and then you get to Onu, and then it's the next one. And when I got off there, there's it's like a big food court, but it's not like the food courts you see in the malls. It's you've got Mexican food, Lebanese food, American food, spicy uh, tacos. You've got Thai food, steaks. I mean, it's brilliant. You've got a lot of expat apartments there. So, in answer to your question, I know I'm going off subject there a bit, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you get these expat communities everywhere. You just have to look. You just have to look for them. Martin Ryder, kids selling skull lighters at the killing field. Well, I mean, it's. I'm not knocking you, Martin, but when you haven't had any food and you've got no money, it's pretty hard to be judgmental. You know what I'm saying, right? Ken Christopherson. Was in Poland as 16 years old, sticks with me. I like historical sites, especially from the Second World War. You won't all know what I'm talking about, but I went to a place called Colditz Castle. It's where they held the persistent escapers, and that was on what was East Germany. You couldn't get there till after 1990, and I loved that. I thought it was great. And the other place I'd like to go to is in Poland, where the site of the Great Escape. It's on every Christmas, isn't it? But they've got flagstones laid out over Harry, the Tunnel Harry, and I love all that sort of stuff. Okay. Right. Real Deal TV just went to a war museum in Saigon and it was definitely upsetting. Yeah. Have you? I haven't been there, but have you seen those traps that they made in Vietnam for the American soldiers? They're like you stand on a patch of grass and it gives way, and underneath there's spikes with feces on the top of it and stuff like that. Or you move a twine and this big, almost like a door of spikes swings into you. All really crude stuff, but very dangerous stuff. Uh, Right, Frost. Have you ever been to Koh Larn? Keen to visit for snorkeling, looking at some good resorts by the beach or above the waters. Any recommendations? Yeah, a lot of nice islands. Too many to mention here. You can go to Koh Samui, Koh Lan. If you're in Pattaya, Koh Lan's a great place to get to. You can rent a motorbike, go around the island, get some food on there and stuff. Yeah. I mean, lots and lots of places. That's a great thing about Thailand. You sport for choice. Real Deal TV. Is level one food court your go-to Bangkok airport? Is level one food court your go-to in Bangkok airport? Are you talking about the new airport? No, I don't really eat at the airport too much because what I tend to do, this time I'm on a night flight, so I take off at 12:15 at night. And what I normally do is I'll have something to eat. I'll be all packed up in the day. I'll sort my apartment out. I don't have to take everything back with me now. I've got all my lighting, and obviously I'll take my laptop, but my printer's here. I'll leave that, all my plugs and everything. All my t-shirts. I won't be wearing t-shirts in the UK, so they'll all stay here. Ankle socks that I wear with shorts here, they won't be coming back with me. So what I normally do, I say normally, it's the first time I've done it from an apartment, but I've got all day to prepare the apartment and pack, and then there's a few restaurants down here. I'll go out and have a nice meal. I mean, a steak or something like that, right? And then I'll just call a Bolt taxi and head up to the airport about 8 o'clock at night. That's 4 hours from when I take off. Just allow myself plenty of time. And then what I'll do then is I might have a beer or something like that, but generally speaking, I'll wait until I get the food on the aircraft. It's included in the ticket, so why eat again? I used to like the restaurant in the old airport. I don't know if you remember that, in the old Don Muang airport. So if you went at night, it was very, very quiet, and they had a restaurant upstairs. There was never anybody there at night. One or two, huge place. It was almost like a Thai cafe. I mean, the tables were very basic, wooden chairs, and they had Singer on draft and a few crusty old sausage rolls. I mean, it was pretty down market. But I used to smoke in those days, and there were signs everywhere, no smoking. But I'd sit in the corner, have a beer, and I'd have a cigarette on the. Never once did somebody come up to me and say you're not allowed to smoke. That's what they used to be like here. They'd put up signs, but nobody used to adhere to them, and that was a great place to wait for your flight. But that's all a thing of the past now. Um, Donald Pearson, what was the reason you chose Bangkok? Good spelling, right? What was what was there not somewhere else in the country? Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why I chose Bangkok. If there weren't any YouTubers in Pattaya, I would have probably chose Pattaya because you can enjoy Pattaya without being in the shit every night, although that can be enjoyable. But there's just too many of them down there. You know, they all want to live in Pattaya, and they're all. You just go on to any YouTuber's video in Pattaya. They're all doing. They do the same stuff, and I'm not knocking them. If a new restaurant opens up, you'll get 20 videos on it from 20 different YouTubers because, you know, they're hungry for stuff to make content out of. So where else would you go? So okay, I quite like Hua Hin, but that wouldn't be a place to base myself because it's a small market. You're isolated, and although I'd enjoy living there, it's not really the sort of place to run a YouTube channel from. Isan doesn't appeal to me. I lived in Isan for 2 years. In the late 90s, I lived in Khon Kaen for 2 years. That doesn't appeal to me. There's a lot of other nice places like Rayong. You know, so there's plenty of places that are nice, but they're just not the right places to base yourself if you've got a YouTube channel. So, not in answer to your question, the main reason for being based in Bangkok is it's a vibrant city. There's a lot of things to film. I've got a master plan tucked away for when I get back because this has been like a 50-50. I've kind of been like half holiday, half settling down, half having a good time, and so many halves, right? But no, Bangkok is just a great place. It's a good base to base yourself from. You know, I can get on. I take the bus now, right? I can take the bus to Pattaya for 131 baht. I can take the bus to Hua Hin for 240 baht. You know, I can go all over from here. And if you know, there's a lot of things that need to be filmed that I can film here. And if you look at the sort of videos that everything Pattaya puts out in Pattaya, they're very, very good, aren't they? You know, he'll do condo reviews, massage parlor reviews. You know, he started to tell a few stories at the end now from his hairdresser, but you know, his videos are pretty good. And that's what I want to start doing here. You know, I want to keep the stories going and, you know, do this sort of stuff. But I need to get out there and, you know, those guys who like five-star hotels and they want to know which is a cheaper five-star hotel, if that makes sense. Well, I should go and have the landmark. I should go and film it, film the facilities, go and film a suite, film a room. That would make a great video. You know, 3 budget hotels close to Nana Plaza, you know, just film them, facilities. That's what people want to know. When people come out here, they want to know, where can I get cheap food? Where can I get a steak? You know, where can I get my driving licenses done? Where can I get my extent? Jason showed me a place the other day I didn't know existed. It was in Soy, I think he said 11, where the British Embassy recommend you can get visas done. It's I forget the name of the house. If you're out there, Jason, stick the name down here. But you go in there and there's all these visa agents. I've never been there, but you go in there. It's what the British Embassy recommend, and there's offices in there. You can go in there, just say I want to get a work, not work permit, retirement visa, and they'll do it all for you for a fee. You know, so this is what people want to know, and this is what I should be doing. And that's a long way of answering your question, but basically that's the reason I want to be in Bangkok. And the other reason, of course, is I do like living in a cosmopolitan city. I like buzzing around on the BTS and the metro. I like going to Fortune City and, you know, spending all afternoon looking at computers and cables and extensions, and you know, I love it. And I just think there's too much temptation in Pattaya. As great it is as of a place as it is, here in Bangkok, it's in enclaves. There's pockets of it, you know. So if you think, oh, I want to party tonight, you can go down to Soy Cowboy and follow it up with you know, Nana or wherever, you know, Therme Cafe until 2 in the morning. You can do it, but when you're in a normal environment in Bangkok, people are going to work, people are living normal lives. They're not all, you know what it's like in Pattaya when you're walking around. Everybody's in like holiday mode, okay? And it's psychological as well. If you see everybody out and about working, then you want to also get into that work mode. So it's a long way of answering your question, but it was a good question. Itchy ear tonight, right? Okay. Okay, Mike Braithwaite. I read the book about Colditz Castle, was really good. Yeah, we had a TV series in the 70s on a Sunday night. You know, I was 15 when it came out, and sometimes I could watch it. Sometimes my mother wanted to watch bloody Stars on Sunday or something. And yeah, great. I read the book as well. Uh, Real Deal TV, haven't seen the traps. You're talking about the ones in Vietnam. Yeah, Nomio Inspector, Ayutthaya. Some people don't pronounce that right. Ayutthaya is worth going to, the old CM rooms. I don't know if you know this, Nomio Inspector. Ayutthaya was the old capital of Thailand. That was before Bangkok. It was Ayutthaya. And believe it or not, that's somewhere I actually haven't been to. And I think I will go up there. I think I'll go up there for a couple of nights and just do a bit of filming, you know. The problem is, what I've noticed, the videos I put out, I've noticed that, you know, if I do a video about, say, if I put out a video, say, uh, remember that story I did about Lek the Bargo? She sent it in through her husband. It was a Bargo who eventually got married. She came down from Isan when she was about 16 in the late 80s, early 90s, something like that. She was trained up by another girl. It was a great story, by the way, but she was now married. She's about 40 something, and her English was okay, but she spoke to her husband about it. He wrote the story out in good English, and then he put his bit on the how he felt emotional, knowing she'd been with all these men, but he loved her and all this. And I put that story out, and that's done 65,000 viewings in about 3 months. Yeah, if I put out a video, I don't know, 3 good restaurants around Sukhumvit, and I go and film those restaurants, they do like 4,000. So it's a hard balance to know what to put out, to know what people want. I mean, I've seen some great YouTube videos out there. Guys with drones, and they're filming sunsets, and the drone goes along the beach and it's in 4K, and the guy sits down at a beach place and he orders great fresh food, and you look at him and he's been going for 3 years and he's got like 6,000 subscribers, and you look at his videos. It's like Bangkok Pat. When I first came across him, he had 1,200 subscribers, so I promoted the heck out of him, and he's now up to about 24,000 subscribers because I thought he was very good. So it's always difficult to know what people want. Thank you, Anthony M. Toby Price, yeah, well, this is a thing, isn't it? Manga videos get views, temple videos get no views. So this is another thing, right? I mean, I know you're kind of joking, but again, people have said to me, look, why do you concentrate on the manga stuff? Why don't you move away from that and do cultural videos? So at the end of the day, I do make a decent bit of money from YouTube now, from the adverts that come on. I get paid, and I want people to watch my videos, and I want to get high numbers. I'm up to 46,000 now, and when you start doing videos on temples and beaches and sunsets, I don't know, they just don't get the viewings, and people knock me sometimes and say, oh, you made a video about going down to Pattaya on the bus, and you put a half naked girl on there with big hooters, and I'm like, yeah, well, I've tested it. I've tested the market. So what I'll do, I've had 2 videos, exactly the same subject, and I've uploaded it with a temple in the background. It's got 2,000 clicks. And then I take that video down for a month and I put the same video up, and I put, one of these racy pictures from one of these Thai bar girls. It gets 20,000 viewings. So what would you do if you were me? Honestly, it's like the old saying when people said, I've said this so many times, people said to me, why do you put pictures of half naked girls on every single thumbnail? And I say it's simple, because YouTube don't allow me to put completely naked pictures, or I would, and that's what it's all about. Right, okay. Yeah, Ben, when are you heading back? As quick as possible, Ben. So like I said, I'm not going to give you the exact date I'm going back, but I'm going back very, very soon. The solicitors contacted me now. We're ready to complete. I'll be on the street with a suitcase, and that day I'll be going down to Heathrow. I'll check into a hotel. I'll be back on a plane. Like I said to you, I don't care what it costs me. I'm going to be back here. Okay. Yeah, that'd be good. You know what I'm really sad about? With not really sad, but it did cross my mind. When you get to 50,000 subscribers, YouTube send you out a kind of silver color plaque. You must have seen it with other YouTubers. It's got the YouTube button and it says YouTube underneath it, and people always have it on the shelf at the back, right? Well, I'll get one of them pretty soon, but I'll never get it, because what will happen is they'll post it to my old address and I won't be living there, so I'll miss out on it. It's a shame, really. Pupmaster 1. Hello, Peter. Can you tell me which acid reflux tablet you take, as I suffer terribly, but as you might know, seeing a doctor in the UK is a problem at the moment. Thank you. Oh, it's very easy. Right, I'll give you a tip on medicine right now. I'm not going to get up and show you the box, but you can go in, just what you need to know. You need to know, don't worry about brands. They're all the same, right? What's important is that the dosage you take. So if it's 20 milligrams, especially around Sukhumvit, you can get everything, okay? What was the question? Yeah, 85 baht for a month's supply, or 3 week supply, okay? You just go in, tell them you want an acid reflux. If you have to use Translate, or take a picture of the box of what you've already got. But here's my top tip for you. When you go into a pharmacy, chemist here, and you say, have you got statins, for instance, right? The first thing they'll do, they'll pick up the statins that are made by Pfizer, right? The American brand, that costs 3,500 baht for a month's supply. What you must do is say, no, I want the Thai brand, right? Because all the medicines, because you're a foreigner, when you go into a pharmacy and you ask for medicine, they'll get it, but it's always the expensive American, British, whatever brands. Okay, that's what they offer you first thing. They don't say well, we've actually got 3 types or 5 types. Which one would you like? You say I need acid reflux, Pfizer, right? 3,500 statins for me. I've now learned when I go and ask for medicine, I say, I want this, I want the Thai brand. And I'll give you an example of price wise, right? If you don't do that and you take statins and you go in and you buy them over the counter, 3,500 baht, okay? I get the Thai statins, which are exactly the same, okay? It's not Banana Republic. They've got some of the best medical here you see anywhere in the world, right? 890 baht from 3,500 to 809. And it's the same with the acid reflux. You get the Thai one, it's 85 baht. You get the expat one, the American one, it's like 700 baht. Okay. So all I'd say is what you need to do is just get the dosage, take a picture of the boxes, you show them the box and they'll know what you want, but you just tell them you want the Thai version. Okay. Right. Who else? Use cider vinegar, Tony Butter. Yeah, all these things kind of work for a while, don't they? It's like when I used to get it in the old days, I used to drink milk and it'd take it away for about 15 minutes, and then I'd be drinking milk all day. Or you can take these Rennie, or is it Avagastine or something like that, like a chalk thing. You've got to take them every day then, haven't they? And they've got sugar in them and all sorts. Just taking it one a day. Um, Okay, right. Did you get a stent? I've never had a stent, and it's one of the biggest things that worries me, which is why I wanted to take out health insurance, but I've made other arrangements now. And, people of my age do get heart attacks quite often. Franco had one. And uh, this is one of the reasons why I went to the Bangkok Pattaya Hospital in Bangkok to get a test of everything just to see how I was doing, and it all came back pretty normal actually. But yeah, I haven't had any stents. I'll tell you what I'd like to do next. They do a procedure where they put a dye through your veins and they can actually see any blockages. Another friend of mine had that done here and he had a stent put in. The problem is it's quite expensive. I think it's about 100,000 baht to get it done, but you're talking about your life, aren't you? So I'll probably go to. You see, there's different levels of hospitals here. You can go to Bumingrat or one of the ones close on Sukhumvit, and you'll pay a fortune, but they're excellent. But you can also go to other hospitals that are a quarter of the price, but they've all got expat doctors and they deal with foreigners, but they're just maybe 7 kilometers out of Sukhumvit. You just got to find them. I've got some that the insurance company recommended because they said to me, if you're allowed 5,000 baht a day for your room in a hospital, don't stay in Bumingrat because it'll be like 15,000 baht a day. Stay in this hospital where 5,000 baht will totally cover you. So you've got to do your own research, haven't you? Thailand Clucker. You said Lansoprasol. I can't pronounce that, but it's good for me. Yeah, I don't think it's the brand that's important. I think it's you just get the right dosage, and you take the right medicine. Donald Pearson, I found Walgreens generic works for me, but nothing else works for me. I'm sure medicine will be different when you're in another country. Yeah, and I'll tell you something else as well. You shouldn't assume places like Boots are expensive because they're an expat brand. Boots is an English company. I think they're still English, and probably owned by the Chinese now, but they were English. I've never gone into Boots for medicals. I've always gone into a Thai pharmacy, and I learned a lesson today because I've seen Boots and Watson. I thought, well, I'm not going in there. They'll be 3 times the price because they're expat stores. And I get I've got a head lotion that nothing to do with Thailand, but I get an itchy scalp and I buy this head lotion. It's a hormone actually, and when I put it on, it kind of stings, but it's a nice sting. It was revealing, and the pharmacy I go to, they charge 250 baht, and I thought 250 baht, that's about £6. So I thought fair enough, and I buy 2 or 3 at a time, have them on standby. So I went in. I couldn't get it today because I went and topped up all my medicine today because I'm going back to the UK and I haven't got time to go to the doctors and fill in forms. So I thought, sod it, I'll buy what I need. I'll take it to England and then I'll buy more when I come back. So I bought it all today, and I wanted a couple of bottles of this scalp medicine because when it comes, it's really itchy, and if I don't use it, my scalp will start to bleed. And like I say, I normally pay 250 baht for a small bottle like that, and I use it as needed. They didn't have any, so I thought, okay, fair enough. I'll go over to Boots, but I had a um, negatives kind of thought when I went over there. I thought, well, I know. Hang on, that's off. I'm going to put it on again. It'll be freezing. Hang on, come on, be good. There we are. So yeah, I went over there with a negative kind of attitude. I thought, well, it's Boots. It's going to be like 700 baht or something. And I went in there and I said, have you got this? And I had a picture on my phone. I'll show you what it is if I can. I don't know if it will come up here on the camera. Let's have a look here. You might take it yourselves. I think it's. I don't know why it's gone. I only took it today. No, I haven't got it, unfortunately. I must have deleted it. Is it in the deleted file? No, it's gone. Okay. So anyway, so 250 baht in a Thai pharmacy, and I thought I'll go over to Boots, see if they've got it. But I had a negative attitude, thinking it's going to be twice the price at least. Went in there. The guy says, "Is it? Yeah, that's it." I said, "How much is it?" And I was waiting for it. 230 baht. So it was actually 20 baht cheaper than where I've been buying it for ages. And every time I'm here in town, I buy it from there. So I'll go to Boots the next time. And the other thing is, the most difficult and expensive thing to get here toiletry wise is deodorant. Okay, if you go into 7-Eleven, they do this one called Axe, right? But when you the tin's outside, but when you pick it up, it feels like there's nothing in it, just a real couple of shots and you're done. And I think that's like 170 baht or something like that, which is about £3.50. In England you can get like that size deodorant for £1, from one of these saver shops. um so even razors, I bought a lot of razors out here. That you can get cheap razors out here, and they're really good. They work well. Shaving foam you can get out here. Everything else. The only two things I think you need to bring out is if you have a bit of mousse in your hair, which I do, or the most expensive thing. I'm going to bring out 8 cans of deodorant when I come out here because it's just so expensive here. And if you go into any of the foreign shops, yeah, they do bigger ones, but then they're quite, they're like £6 a can. So I don't know how we got onto this subject, but I'll tell you what we're going to do, Dan. I think we'll do the ladyboy competition. So let's where are we? Rambling on tonight. It's a bit of a rambling stream this evening. Okay. Right, okay, you know the drill. How many ladyboys have we got? Right, okay, so there's 8 pictures, 7 of them are girls. There's 1 ladyboy. I want to know 7 ladyboys, 1 lady. I want to know which picture number is the real female, okay? Okay, let's see how we got on here. Let me check it out myself. Don't give you the wrong answer. Right, okay, here we go. Let's get right up to the top here. First one. Right, first answer tonight is Richard Woolley, and Richard Woolley is wrong, unfortunately. Martin Ryder, no. Brian Street, no. Leeds, no. Jeff Say, yes. Only in Thailand, yes. Steve James, yes. A lot of right answers already. Nick S, no. George, no. Charles Stewart, no. Tony P, no. Pupmaster 1, yes. Well done, mate. Real Rennie, yeah, you got it right. Donald Pearson, no. Ricardo, yes. Dutch Farang, yes. Wow. Andrew Bass, is it? No. Rumble, no. Oh, hang on. I've said a few people have got it right who didn't get it right. Pupmaster. I'm getting confused here. Hang on. Right. Okay. Pupmaster. No, that was a wrong answer actually. Ricardo, wrong answer. Dutch Frang, wrong answer. Rumble, wrong answer. I'm afraid. Getting confused myself there. Right. Rubload. No. Keith Reynolds. Okay. Rubload. No. Scott M. No. Darius Howe. No. Simon Mays. No. Michael DiCaprio, hi. It's not that one. Matthew, yes, you got it right, Matthew. Well done. Steve K, you got it right. Well done. Paul Scrath, no. Taxi to Lao, yes. Paul Warwick, not even going to try. Okay, Tony 7682, yeah, well done to you. Mark Hanley, no. Decker in Thailand, no. Wok ATM, no. Mike Braithwaite, no. No Strings, no. Mercy Pool, yes, well done to you. Ken Christopherson, no. Pupmaster 1, no. Rubload, no. Lester Paul, no. Andrews Real World, no. Innovations, no. Dave Darkin, is it? No. Primo Patio Sin City, no. Old Fogey, no. Stephen Roberts, no. Toby Price, no. Abini, I can't even pronounce that, no. Broadcast Dave, no. Charles Sanders, yes. Geezers, no. Tommy Kyle, no. Thailand Clucker, no. Wok ATM, no. David Heidelberg, no. Sorry, David. Yeah, you got it right. Well done. And I'll buy you a beer next time if I ever meet you, because I always pronounce your last name wrong. Please forgive me on that. Mickey Berkshire, no name, yes. Mick Tomsai, no. Chadwick Killington, no. Harvey, who's that? Harvey Wisdom, no. Nomia Inspector, no. A then, no. Soda Pop Curtis, no. Gary G, no. Checkbound, no. Kutiavian, Checkbound. Real Deal TV, no. Mario, no. Pupmaster, you said definitely. No, it isn't. It's wrong. Sorry. John Reed, no. Craig Michael, no. Let's just do the right answers now. I'm only going to read out right answers. Jim Davis, yes. Arto Lax, yes. Any more? That's it. All right. Let's put you out of your misery. Let's show you who is the real lady. There you go. Well done if you got that right. I came across a funny clip. I showed this about a year ago. And when I look at clips from different platforms, if they actually make me laugh out loud, I'll show them on the stream, like the Coca-Cola Korean teacher. Remember that one? So I came across this, nothing to do with Thailand, but it put a smile on my face. Just see if it puts a smile on your face.
He's so dumb. Look at Molly. She's like, I don't know what to do. She's lying too. She's just
I mean, I think it's the two ladies. Nothing to do with Thailand, right? But I think it's the two ladies in the background laughing. It's quite a funny clip, isn't it? I'll have to try and dig some more of them up for next week. Right, A then says, I would have never guessed number 8. I actually had her on the thumbnail a couple of weeks ago, so I'm surprised more people didn't get it. Very hard one. Keep it up, Peter. I hope you're talking about what I'm thinking about and not something else. Right, okay. Toby Price, that's difficult. 8 looks like my nephew. But I've said this many times, guys. When you come out of here, it's totally different. From a picture, you can't tell anything, right? And I only show their faces. At least if I showed the full body, the hands and the feet, you'd have more of a chance. But it's a brutal competition. It's very, very hard. And I think the guys who actually get it right, most of them have actually guessed it. There's very few that actually know for sure. Like the guy said, it's definitely number 7, and it wasn't. Yeah, Tom, absolutely. Russian roulette is safer for sure. Okay, Simon, a little bit too much information there. You've got to be careful. I would definitely pick a ladyboy. The only thing I say with ladyboys, be really, really careful, because they have got a reputation for taking things that don't belong to them, because they have to pay for enhancements, if you know what I mean. Nick S., face turning and photoshops are miracles. Yeah, absolutely. I haven't used Photoshop. These are just straight pictures, but I get your point. Another good one, not easy. I tell you what, I've just got to go for I've just got to nip to the toilet, so I'll put my filler girl on here for a second. And I am back. Okay, talking about something Thailand. I'll tell you what, something else that always puts a smile on my face. When I meet people here, I've brought a few people around to my apartment. A couple of viewers we were talking about apartments. I said, well, I've got no problem. If you want to have a look at my apartment, I have to really trust you first. Anybody who says they like ladyboys, I won't let through the front door. I don't want to be gelled up and. Anyway, one thing that always amazes me is people. Nearly everybody says to me when they know I live in an apartment, they say, "Oh, how much do you pay to get it cleaned? How much do you pay the Miban? The maid, or who cleans it for you? Is it one of the girls?" And I'm like, no, I clean it. I've got a washing machine, I've got a broom and a dustpan sort of thing, and I've got a mop, and it takes me 20 minutes in the morning, you know. I mean, why? It's not because I'm stingy, but I think it's just so easy. I've got a routine. I wake up, I have a shower, I make a cup of coffee, I brush the old floor, stick my clothes in the washing machine. It's 20 minutes, you know. I mean, that's got to be a bit lazy if you've got to employ somebody to do all your cleaning. Um, okay. Hey, then I would have never guessed number 8. Right. Martin Ryder says, "Yeah, they always look young." Yeah, I met a girl the other day through a friend who was 45. Well, she said she's 45, and honestly, I would have put her at 32. I mean, you know, they just hold their age. It's amazing. You get a 45-year-old woman in the UK, and she could have been 50 and just lying about her age, but she looks so good for her age. You look at her and you think, 45, really? Um, Right. Always check. Martin Ryder says, always check the hands. Yeah, always check the hands and always check the feet. Don't rely on the Adam's apple because they've got a procedure now to shave that down. So even more money. Um, Mike Braithwaite says it always it all depends on how intoxicated you are. A lot of guys. I mean, there's nothing against this. I mean, as long as you're not harming anyone, but there are guys who are perfectly straight, but they come out here and they have relationships one day or short time relationships with lady boys and I mean, there's a on Sukhumvit Road. There's a massage parlor there, and they've got about 4 or 5 lady boys out there all day and all evening. And I'm always walking about, and I see guys going there all the time, you know. And I've said to him many times before. I said to a guy I knew who used to go with them. I said, "Well, you're perfectly straight. Why do you go with them? Just out of interest?" And he says, "It's just something I do when I'm in Thailand." So fair enough. Uh, Okay, Ben says stories were good yesterday. Yeah, they were, but you know, like I said, the last one, the third one about the voodoo and the clay doll and did you believe all that? I wasn't saying the guy's lying, but I'm not really. I don't know. Form your own opinion on that. A then says I would never have guessed number 8. Okay, why is that then? Let me have another quick look at them. Number 8. Uh, hang on, number 8. Let's have a look at number 8 again. Yeah, I see what you mean. There's a kind of a look there, isn't there? But she's definitely a female. Because what I did when I made that last year, that competition, I was really careful because they do look alike. So there's a website that I joined that I could take the pictures from that have ladyboys on it. That sounds a bit dubious, doesn't it? But so I knew they were only ladyboys, and the other places I knew they were only girls. There was no chance of, you know, crossing them over, as it were. Um, okay. Somebody asked me the other day. They said, "How come you never talk about the taxi driver Apple anymore?" Well, it's simple, really. I've got nothing against Apple or anything like that, but it's. Do you remember I used to promote Apple, the female taxi driver? Yeah, she's still out there and about, but I don't really use taxis too much now. Now that I've found the you can get about on the bus, and of course, living in Bangkok, we've got the BTS and you know all that, and as far as taxis go, you know, it's much more economical to use Bolt or Grab now. You know, when I go to the airport, you know, I always give Apple a nice tip. She's a lovely woman to travel with. You know, she's a nice girl. She does a good job. But the thing is, you know, regular taxi drivers are expensive, and when you go to your app and order from Bolt, then you know, it, it can be a lot cheaper. I had a bit of an experience with a Bolt taxi in Pattaya when I came back. Not this time, the last time, 2 weeks ago. So I made a mistake. If you ever want to come back from Pattaya on a bus, don't go at the bus station on Sunday about 2 o'clock. I'll tell you why. Because everybody checks out at 12 o'clock. That's when you got to check out in Pattaya. Everybody goes and has a bit to eat, a nice brunch before they come back or an English breakfast. And then they head to the bus station, the North Terminal. The queue must have had 80 people in it, okay? So if you ever want to come back on a Saturday afternoon, come back on a weekday, do not go at the bus station. Go on a Sunday morning, 10, 11 o'clock, no problem. But after lunchtime, 1, 2 o'clock, all those people have checked out, they're coming back, you won't get on the bus. Anyway, so I thought, oh, sod this for a game of cards. I'll get a taxi. You know, I can afford a taxi, but it's just I don't like to waste money. And I thought, well, you know, the bus it's air-conned. It's 131 baht. It's a good service. The BTS is 100 meters literally from the train station, and the BTS stops very close to my street. So I take the bus. So I went to the bus station North Pattaya 3 Sundays ago. Bloody queue, massive queue. I thought, oh, I'm not waiting. So I thought I'll go on Bolt. Went on to Bolt. It wasn't as cheap as I thought it was. It was 1,400 baht. And I know if I'd gone into Pattaya and those guys who were hungry for work, I probably could have got 11, 1,200 baht. But I was at the bus station anyway. The problem is you never know what sort of car's going to come and pick you up. And for a short journey, you don't normally mind. Anyway, so I'm waiting then. I'm looking at the guy on the map getting there. He's getting closer. He's getting closer. You want to see what turned up. I'm not exaggerating here. You know, when you're 17 and you get your first car license and you're struggling to get a little bit of money and you go out and you buy a car and it's virtually one step away from the scrapyard. I mean, this thing, I call it was like a thing from the deep. It turned up. It had a lime green bonnet on it. It was a tiny little thing. It was some sort of maybe a Toyota or something like that. The guy who was driving it, he's a motorbike taxi driver in the day, and he drives a taxi. Sorry, he's a motorbike taxi driver at night, but he drives a taxi in the day for both. So he turns up in this car, not a proper taxi. It's his car that he owns, and I looked at it, and I'm not exaggerating here. I was actually worried in case it broke down in the middle of nowhere because it literally looked clapped out. He was a nice guy. I give him a tip and everything. He's got a young family, and I was talking to him, and his wife works. He holds down 2 jobs, so fair play to the guy. Pat on the back. If they're all like that in the UK, we wouldn't have half the problems we've got today. So fair enough. But the bloody car. I mean, it was. Like I say, the sort of thing. You're 16. You see a car for £200-300 on the street, clapped out. That's what picked me up. Anyway, we're going back to Bangkok. It didn't break down, thank heavens, but the air condition packed up about 20 minutes into the journey. I was sweating like a rapist. It was absolutely boiling, and when you're in a car. So he said, "Oh, Maping Line, I open the windows." He opens the windows and a rush of hot air comes in. It's not like in England where you put the windows down and it's cold. And it's like, oh, 5 minutes, put that back up. It's freezing out there. No. I mean, he opened the windows and it was just like a blast of hot air, and the other thing was one of his shock absorbers was gone on the back. And you know what the roads are like coming up from Pattaya? There's a lot of it's still old concrete with joins in it. So we're coming back with no aircon. It's like budum on the back seat, and it was like one of the worst. But the guy, what can I say? The guy was doing his best, and he got me to my apartment, but wasn't the best taxier in the world. Okay. Try Cherry Taxi Pattaya, 1,000 baht to the airport. Yeah, but that's fine. But what you got to remember, the airport is halfway to Bangkok. I live in central Sukhumvit, okay, and that makes a difference because it's not getting to Bangkok; it's getting through Rama 4 and Sukhumvit, and the traffic. It takes them time, and they calculate into the price. Now, when you're going to the airport, one, it's only halfway the distance to Bangkok, and two, they're not going to hit any city traffic. So 1,000 baht is, it's a going rate, but you're not going to pay an extra 200 baht to get to Sukhumvit because of the traffic, But thanks for the tip anyway. It's good to know if I ever went to the airport. Yours Travel says niche taxi. She is good. I've heard you mention her before. Just out of interest, Steve, what would she charge from, say, Sukhumvit to Pattaya? You got any idea? Dave the Rave says North Pattaya bus station. Yeah, if you ever go to Hua Hin, the return, because they go to different places. It's all very well saying, oh, you're going back to Bangkok, but Bangkok's a big city. You've got the North Terminal, you've got the East Terminal. Well, the North Terminal covers the eastern side of the country, okay, Pattaya and Rayong and all that sort of thing, whereas the Northern Terminal is the west side, and you've got to make sure you get the right bus. And if you ever go down to Hua Hin, Soi 50, where all the minibuses were, closed down over COVID. It hasn't opened up again. Okay, so if you want to get the bus back to Edgemere, that's where you need to get back to Edgemere to get the BTS anywhere locally. You go to the Blue Port, the side of the Blue Port. That's where the buses stop for Edgemere. Okay, so be careful. Don't just get on any bus to Bangkok. Okay. Toby Price, leave the limousine for 2K baht taxis to Pattaya for 2-week millionaires. When you live there, you get why. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can afford to go to Pattaya in a taxi and pay 1,400 baht, no problem at all. But the thing is, the beauty of it is, I can go on Agoda. I stay in the Nature View Hotel, which cost me in low season 800 baht, high season it cost me 1250. I know the manageress; she's a lovely woman, friend now. It's an okay hotel; it's nice. The motorbike lady the woman I rent my motorcycles from, her shop is just 100 yards down the road. So when I first went there, like any other motorcycle rental, I had to show my passport, I had to fill in a form, I had to sit there, for ages, and and deposit and all the rest of it. Now, when I get there, she gives me a hug. I don't fill anything out. She just says, "Which one do you want?" And I say that. The only thing is, she's charging me 200 baht a day now because it's high season. I said, "Oh, come on, you know me." And she's like, "Well, I've only got two left. It's high season. I'll look after you again when it's low season." I'm like, "Fair enough, fair enough." And but I like routine. And the thing about the bus, it's so easy. Like I've got a couple of appointments this week that I can't get out of, right? But I was just thinking, I've done the stories for next week for the members on Tuesday. I've just got to put them up on YouTube. So the stories are ready for next week. I've got my insurance video ready for Wednesday or Thursday. The stream's done until next Sunday now. Now I've got a little suitcase. I could pack that. I could go on 49 baht on the BTS. Edgarbye bus station, 131 baht, North Terminal, 45 baht to my hotel, motorbike rented, 3 days on Jumped In Beach. Fantastic. Easy, isn't it? So why waste money? That pays for my hotel, doesn't it? Um, right, Richard Martin. I've been watching you for almost 2 hours. Time flies, so your visit to England will pass quickly. Yeah, but I'm not really got anything to worry about on here except that one guy come and said, "Why do I keep talking about the same things?" When I'm here, if you'd like to see me go out and make some videos on something different, I will do them. Just don't mention anything stupid. Like I had a guy, what was it he asked for? I can't remember now, but some people come up with funny things. Why didn't you go and do a video on the best? I can't remember what it was, but if you've got any ideas, I'm always open to ideas. Right, Primo Patia. I paid 1,500 baht, 500 baht tip. Sharing is caring. Okay. Uh, yeah, just on that last comment about the time goes quick. That's when you do a stream. People have said to me before, how can you talk to a camera for 2 hours? How can you keep it going? But it just goes so quick. I mean, it's like now I'm looking, I'm thinking, Jesus, it's nearly 2 hours. Ed Sweeney and I did a couple of streams, and one of them was 5 hours long, and it was a really good stream. People loved it, and we held the crowd in there. And I just think we bounced off each other, and it was really good. Ed's upset about something. I don't know what it is. I don't think I've particularly upset him, but some things are gone, and he just wanted to keep himself to himself. So I've respected his wish, and I haven't contacted him. But it's a shame because we did really good streams together. People like them, but the time does fly. Um, Right, Andrew's Rearwood again. When you go to the airport, take the BTS train from Nana to Pattaya, then get the airport rail link straight there. Total price 89 baht. Yeah, that's true. I might make a video of that actually. See, that would be a good video, wouldn't it? I could go out on the train to the airport and then just go to the ticket machine, buy the ticket, and just film the whole thing. Then, when you get off the aircraft, the only thing with that is, I mean, a lot of people come here. Some people come with what we call a rucksack, knapsack, whatever you want to call it. That's fine. But if you come with suitcases and a laptop bag and another bag, it's just not practical, is it? You've been on a 12-hour flight, even longer if you come from the States. And at the end of the day, you just want to get to your hotel the easiest and most comfortable way you can. If you've got to pay 500 baht for a taxi, you're going to pay it, aren't you? I am. I don't mind taking buses, but not after a 12-hour flight. James Wise, hi Pete, left Thailand this month, going back in April for Songkran. Is it as good as people say? Well, when you say is it as good, I don't actually like it because you go out and you get soaked, and I've done it for years. I was down Pat Pong years ago with an electric water pistol with the girls outside the bars. They had a big bucket of water and everybody walked by. We were spraying them and they were spraying us. It was a great afternoon, but I've done it, but if you have it, yeah, it's fantastic. Go down to Soy 4 on the day in the afternoon, and you'll see pickup trucks coming along with buckets of water on the back. They'll be throwing water over each other. And the good thing about here, the water isn't cold, because it's a hot country. The water that comes out the taps is kind of almost lukewarm. So you're not like, freezing when it hits you. And once you're wet, you just get into the spirit of the thing, enjoy it. And it is good. If you've not done it before, it's good. Michael DiCaprio, hi Peter. Is your second home in Pattaya still on the card? Yeah, I'm thinking so, Michael. It all depends financially what happens in the future. I want to work on my YouTube channel to kind of try and build my numbers. Be nice to get a bit more of revenue. This time of year, everybody's revenue on YouTube is way down because it's all about advertising. The advertisers who put adverts on your channel that YouTube control. Well, as you know, leading up to Christmas, like October, November, December, these big companies are selling big time. They put a lot of money into their advertising budget because it's Christmas, it's New Year's, and they're trying to shift everything, right? So they pour a lot of money. We get the benefits of that because they advertise on our channels, right? But when you get to January, February, March, they pull back their advertising budgets because a lot of people are broke after Christmas, New Year. They're maxed out on their credit cards, and they're not really buying anything they don't need to buy, And so what these companies do, they pull back their advertisement budgets. They don't do so much, and of course that reflects on our payments. And I'll give you an example. This month, I'm not going to give you numbers, but I'll tell you without exaggerating, from December, my numbers down. I'm down about. I'll be honest with you now, about £900, okay, less this month than I got in December because of how it works, you know. Um, right, Donald Person says nobody is hitting the like button. Maybe everyone's getting bored, Donald. But thank you for your thought there. Right, Toby Price. Peter, have you been to Patpong since you have been to Bangkok? Yeah, a couple of times. It's very disappointing. The market is opening slowly. The problem with Patpong, it's kind of like it had its heyday, you know, 60s, 70s, 80s. It was a rocking place. It was a place to head to. It was vibrant. It was busy. It was sexy. It was a great place to go to. Okay. Then came along Nana Plaza, which was Nana Plaza Shopping Centre. You know what it is now. Then Soy Cowboy with Bernard Trink, not Bernard Trink. What's his name? Jay Hooker, the American guy, opened the first bar, and they've kind of superseded Pat Pong. It's a bit of a has-been now, and of course the market was closed down in COVID. And I used to go over there for the market, but of course I didn't go there just for the market. Great thing about Pat Pong, you go into a couple of go-go bars, then you go and buy a fake Mont Blanc pen and a fake, you know, whatever, and it was a great place to go for a night out. But they closed the market, and it just doesn't seem to have. Pat Pong doesn't seem to have woken up yet. You know, there are bars open and it's slowly, you know, you go to Nana, you go to Cowboy, packed, absolutely packed every night. It's like there was no such thing as COVID. But the thing is with Pat Pong, it's kind of died, and they brought back a little bit of the market. And I've been there a couple of times, and I don't want to slate it, but go and have a look at it yourself when you come here. But it's quite sad, really, because it's a lot of history there. But it's worth going there for the Pat Pong Museum. If you haven't been there before, opposite Foodland, right there, you've got the Pat Pong Museum, about 200 baht to get in. Very interesting. Um, right, missed out a lot of comments, guys. Sorry about that, but it's just, you know, the lay of the land, isn't it? It's just so many coming in. Right, Ben again. No strings. There is a super rich opposite the Marriott on Soy 22. Are you talking about the one? No, there's another super rich in on the Skywalk to Terminal 21. So if you come off the BTS and you're going into Terminal 1, a little bit of a Skywalk, there's a super rich, but it's hopeless because there's always lots of Koreans and Japanese and Chinese, and the queue takes a long time to go down. I keep saying to you every time, right, if you want to change up money, you're in the Sukhumvit area, go to Soy Arab. As you walk in, there's two change boxes. Go to the second one. She gives it the best rate. I'd say even better than super rich, or at least a par. Okay, you know, don't waste your time wasting your time here queuing up for no reason. Martin Ryder, do you remember Super Pussy's Club in Patpong one? Yeah, yeah. And do you remember those two famous signs in the King's Bar? They were like pictures of girls, but they were really kind of crude. And it was something like it said something like what was it? King's one. You remember white background? It had a picture of a girl, but it was really crude. That's it, a place for lovers or something like that. You know, it's all gone, hasn't it? Barry from EastEnders. I'm in Phuket, about to have it on with a stunner. Love your channel. Okay, that's good. That's good. People say to me like, you know, oh, you're living in this apartment, you're not entertaining. What's the score, sort of thing. But you know, uh, I'll talk about that when I get back from the UK. Right. Arto Lax, many YouTubers in Pattaya already, I think is good in Bangkok to be one doing different things. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of YouTubers here. There's some good one. Bangkok Pat's good. There's a Russian guy, I think he's Russian or Ukrainian, something like that. He's got over 100,000. Young guy. Sheila likes him, says, oh, he's very handsome, you know. And he goes about, he does a lot. And there's a guy who's been smashing it out here. He's a coloured guy. He got out here in he didn't have hardly any subscribers. I don't know his name. I haven't seen his channel. Somebody told me about him, but he came out here just 2 months ago and he's already up to something like 46,000 subscribers. Peter told me about him. I don't know what he's filmed, but he's actually out there every day filming everything, you know, so he might be appealing to a younger crowd as well. Um, um, Right, Ricky says, does your soy Arab money changer accept less than perfect notes? Well, you'll find none of them do. You know, they've got to be perfect. No one will accept less than perfect notes. That's down to you when you leave your bank. You know, you've got to check the notes, and if they're not perfect, you give them back and say, can you give me some others? You know, because the problem is that money changer has to get rid of those notes. It's her little business, right? And the banks won't accept them off her. Toby Price, I miss the Patpong days. Go back when in Bangkok for nostalgia, but it'll actually make you sad because, like you say, I went back for a night of nostalgia, and you look at it, you think, you know, and they're so hungry down there now. They're just, they're really rip off. Got these guys with the cards outside. Sexual, sexual, sexual. Now. Anyone get returns yet on the boxes of pot? Not sure about that, but the weed places are everywhere now. Right, Matthew, if one currency exchange refuses a banknote, try it on the next one. It works. Matthew, it does and it doesn't. I've been in that situation. I came out with a couple of £1,000 and I ended up having about £600-700 left because nobody had exchanged it. And I did exactly what you said. I went to MBK where they have a lot of them, and I went round and probably every 3 or 4 said no, then maybe one would say yeah, but I did get notes that nobody would change. It's a good tactic. You can try it, but it's not. Okay, look, guys, it's over 2 hours. I think what I'll do now, I'll do a quick manga minute, which is about 2 minutes that I've shown at the beginning of the stream. I'll take a couple more comments, and then I think that's going to be it. I'm feeling a bit depressed because it's getting very, very close to this time.
Attention, please. This is the final call of Thai Airways International flight. Attention, please.
No, thank you. Right, okay. That was a great idea by somebody to actually string them all together and do sort of like a 30-minute video or something. I don't know if that would be a bit boring, but I thought it was quite a good idea. Okay, let's do a few more comments and then we'll call it a night. Andrew's Real World, right, here we go. Just heard from Thai Airways, your flight to Heathrow has been cancelled. Okay, well, I've got to get there with some way or other, Andrew. Let's hope yours doesn't get cancelled when you're on your trip next week sometime. TIHM, why don't you have a lawyer sell your house power of attorney? So no, because my wife and I, we're not fighting, we're not pulling each other's hairs out. We've sat down, we've agreed that we both want to go our separate ways for whatever reason. We've done it in an amicable way. I'm looking after her. She knows what the score is. There's no reason to pay people to get them involved. It's just not worth it. Ben, yes, they are. Toby Price 50s aren't plastic yet. They are in the UK because I've got them. They're plastic notes now. They've got Alan Turing on the back, the inventor of the computer, who killed himself by the Apple logo. That's actually based on Alan Turing, the guy who invented the computer. Worked at Bletchley Park. Very fantastic mathematician. He was one of the main people who solved the Enigma code that the Germans used in the Second World War, the code. And he actually was gay and he got arrested a few times. And he was actually pardoned by the UK government years later, but he actually killed himself by injecting an apple with some sort of poison. I think it was strychnine or arsenic or something like that. He took one bite out of the he took one bite out of the apple, went to sleep and he was dead. And basically, out of respect or a tribute, the Apple logo, where you see a picture of an apple with a bite out of it, that's because of Alan Turing. So that logo, because he was the father of computers. So a little bit of trivia for you there. Okay. Right, someone getting a bit warm under the collar here tonight. David, second from the last in the leopard suit with a P on it. Yes, please. Okay. Dave the Rave. We will still enjoy the Friday night live streams in the UK, Peter. Yeah, I don't know I'm going to be there that long, though. And I'm going to be starting chucking, I've got to strip my office down. And unfortunately, my nice computers, I can't bring them with me. I've sold most of what I have. I'm going to have to take out the hard drive and rip it and chuck it. But I'm definitely, if you've come in late, next Sunday, the stream will be at 10 p.m. as it was in the old days, 10 p.m. until 1:30 midnight. And we'll see how that goes. Right, yours travels. We'll make yours the last of the night. £1,200 for my Etihad return flight from Manchester to Phuket. Well, that's very, very reasonable, Steve. Very, very reasonable. Okay, guys, it's been a good stream. It's over 2 hours now. Thank you for joining me tonight. And again, I'll say there will be a notification, but the stream will be Sunday, 10 p.m. Look out for that video on Wednesday or Thursday that I've made about health insurance. Very, very disappointed. They offered me health insurance in the end. I told them I don't want it because of what they excluded. I'm going to go through everything from start to finish, all the research I did, why I decided to go with this insurance company, what procedures I went through, what tests, how much it cost, the whole thing, and why I turned it out, and what I'm doing as a personal alternative to make sure that I'm covered. Okay, that video comes out on Wednesday or Thursday. Make sure you watch it. It's going to be very entertaining is the wrong word. It'll be very educating. Okay, until then, thanks for joining me tonight, guys, and I'll see you next Sunday. All I want